It's a community in recovery. Almost 10 months ago, a devastating tragedy hit this small city of Humboldt hard. And this week, it takes another step forward as it plays host to the 2019 Viterra Scotties Tournament of Hearts. And it's coming up next. Saskatchewan Championship Curling is brought to you by SaskTel, Viterra, White Ice at Eastside Paint and Wallpaper, CurlSask, SaskTel Max TV, and Asham Curling Supplies.
Good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 2019 Viterra Scotties Tournament of Hearts. We're live from the Humboldt Curling Club. My name is Sean Joyce. I'm here with Kim Hudson. It's day 3. We're getting into the nitty-gritty of the round robin. Draw 7 tonight. For those of you who were with us on CurlSask.ca this afternoon, you saw Sherry Just. She went into the game tied for the lead with 4 wins, but came up a little short this afternoon. She's got the short turnaround to bounce back tonight. Kim, what does she have to do to come out with a stronger performance tonight?
Yeah, that's the key right there. Come out with a stronger performance. They started off this tournament very well, but we saw a bit of a different team out here today. They seemed a little hesitant, a little afraid to maybe mix it up and get at it. So they're going to have to come back with the confidence that they showed us at the start of the week at this game.
And she'll be facing off against Chantel Eberle. The Eberle foursome, well, Chantel herself, it's a new team for her, but she's always seems to be in the running.
Yeah.
Had the bye this afternoon. Now she has to play the last 3 draws, and she's got some work to do to get herself back into that playoff mix. What will they be looking to change tonight?
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're looking for to change, to be honest. They're at 2-3, and they lost last night to Streifel in a tough game and then had the bye, exactly like you said. So they're going to have to get it together quickly, and they're going to have to come out and get some wins. So I have a feeling they're going to be aggressive and ready to play.
Well, and once again, there will be a full slate of games on here in this evening's draw. We'll keep you up to date on all of them. But before we do that, let's meet the teams in tonight's matchup.
Hi, I'm Chantel Eberle, skip of Team Eberle. Our third is Shaylin Kitts, second is Jana Tisdale, lead is Haley Jameson, coach is Shane Kitts, and we curl out of the Highland Curling Club in Regina. Hi, I'm Sherry Just, skip of Team Just. Our third is Megan Anderson, second Ellen Reddick, lead Hannah Anderson, and coach Jim Wilson. We curl out of the Britannia Curling Club in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
And we've made our way back to the broadcast location. Quick turnaround when we're doing those intros.
Yeah, man, I'm exhausted.
We've got the full slate of games on, as we mentioned. We'll keep you up to date on all of them. Just to give you the rundown on who's playing here tonight in this draw 7. On sheet A, it will be Kristen Streifel against Penny Barker. Our feature matchup is on sheet B. The matchup on sheet C has Ashley Howard against Robin Silvernagel. And over on sheet 4, which is actually directly in front of our location, it's Jessica Mitchell playing against Sherry Anderson. And we're going to talk a lot tonight about the standings. We haven't discussed it a lot yet because everything's been sorting its way out, but we've been looking at it already, and it's fun to start looking at it as we get to this point in the week. Amber Holland is off tonight. She sits on top of the field at 5-1. She's the only team with 5 wins, but she still has to play Kristen Streifel and Sherry Anderson tomorrow. Robin Silvernagel at 4-1. Sherry Just comes into this game at 4-2 as well. So those teams at 4 wins, they're in pretty good shape right now. Sherry Anderson, Kristen Streifel, both at 3 and 2. And the interesting thing about it, when I was looking at the combinations, those 3 teams that are sitting at 2 losses, they've all played each other already, so they're not bringing each other back. So the teams at 3 losses, and Chantel Eberle is one of those teams, she's going to have to do the work for herself to bring those teams back, which she still gets to play a couple of them. She's playing Sherry Just tonight, and she still has to play Robin Silvernagel, so she's got a couple of teams ahead of her that she can bring back to the pack.
And you do like to be in control of your own destiny. You hate to stand back and have somebody else have to do that for you. It's nice to be able to do that yourself. Yeah, this is midweek, I guess, and usually at this point you see the pack start to separate a bit, but it's looking like a logjam.
Okay, 10-4, that's good.
The only things we really know for sure is that young team, Jessica Mitchell in their first Scotties, they've had a few ends go against them, and it's been specifically ends. They've had some big ends count against them in their losses, and they aren't going to be able to claw back into the playoff picture. But, you know, the team that's sitting just above them in the standings, Ashley Howard, she's still got mathematically a chance. She's at 1 and 4, but if she runs the table, she will need a little bit of help, but she can bring some teams back to her.
Right.
It can be done.
9-6. It's not bad.
I was trying to figure out the combinations between draws, and I'm looking at Amber Holland at 5 and 1 and who she's got left to play. 5 and 1, worst she could do is 5 and 3, and she's still not guaranteed a playoff spot.
That I didn't have figured out, and I find that hard to believe.
Well, again, all those teams at 2 losses have already played each other, so they can all run the table from where they are without knocking one of themselves down.
Line's good.
Yeah, I suppose.
Starting to curl. Down. 4-5. Yeah, it's really curling.
It is going to mean a lot of scoreboard watching from here on in.
Yeah. Scoreboard watching for us and the fans, but as a curler, you need to concentrate on your own game.
You shouldn't be doing that.
Right.
Speed's nice here.
So as we get started here, we're seeing a pretty open first end. Going to get their sea legs under them.
The one corner guard now, Janet Tisdale being asked, I think the call was to throw a tight center.
We're behind that.
And this is coming in.
Okay. 10? Okay. I timed 1375, but I doubt.
Not only coming in, but coming a little deep.
Control.
Does hang on to the back of the 12-foot to sit shot rock. Glenn Redlick now will look to make a play on that stone.
Didn't feel like that.
I got a big split.
The teams draw to the button before each game to determine who has last rock. It was the Just team winning, so they have last rock here in the first end of play. But, you know, again, when we talked about the logjam in the standings, and we discussed it this afternoon for those of you who were with us then, that not only does that draw to the button give you the hammer each game, the cumulative distance can be used as a tiebreaker if necessary at the end of the week. And when all these teams are so close together, you've got to consider that, you know, breaking ties might come into play, and that adds a little extra pressure when you're throwing that draw to the button.
Yeah, it sure does.
I think you said it this afternoon, if it comes down to a 3-way tie, and that was a possibility going into that game. If you look at a 3-way tie at first place and it goes down to draw to the button, the difference between first and third is so huge.
Right.
Really.
Difference between second and third is so
Even second
huge.
and third, sure.
Because of the page playoff system. So one place 2, and the winner of that goes directly to the final. Loser drops down, whereas the 3-4 at sudden death, they're on in.
Like 14-8, you're still good.
So in a field this tightly packed, that draw to the button could be huge.
Yep. Definitely is.
Well, with that stone at the back, rolling just out of the rings, Ellen Redlick being asked to try to come around that corner guard.
Line's good. Line's really good. Yep. Hard girl, as far as you can. Finish it if you can. Yep, far as you can, far as you can.
Great
sweeping.
line. Just didn't have quite enough weight to
1475.
bring it deep enough to bury.
Okay, great sweep.
10.
Shaylin Kitts looking to make the hit on shot rock. She's got to be careful of that guard.
You gotta go! Hard! Yep, roll it. Go.
Wanting to roll away from there.
10-7.
It's
Hard to remember. These soft. Yeah.
Control.
Rolled enough to make sure she's all the way into the rings, but there is room for Megan Anderson now to make the roll back under cover, and I believe she'd be biting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa, clean.
Easy.
Just clean. Whoa.
Easy.
Just clean. Okay, that's fine.
Hits right on the nose, and looks from our vantage point that is in the rings.
10, that's good.
10.
Even if it wasn't, I think you'd see
10-7.
Chantel make a play on it. It's a dangerous rock that close.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I think if they make the roll this way, they will be on the rings as well.
10.
Is it up? 10. Please. Yep. Hard. Yep. Hard. Oh, yard. Gotta go. Yard.
Has to be on the center line side if she's going to get a roll into the rings. Makes the hit, pretty much stays right there.
Okay. Good. Pardon? Good throw.
Still a dangerous rock for the Just team.
I thought it was.
We're going to make a play on it as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
This one will be a little tougher to get a roll into the rings off of. It's possible. She'd have to roll away from the guard, though.
Careful. 10. Whoa. 9-5. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Hard. 3. Whoa.
Whoa. Yep. Okay, that's fine.
Makes the hit. It's going to roll towards the rings, but will it stop in time? Get that last little spin.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting to see.
Spun the other way, actually. So just out of the rings.
You like that? Even if I'm a little short, not too short, right?
Yeah. I was getting a little sticky at times. I think it's a couple
Okay,
rocks
but
down there.
I think I can throw similar to what I was throwing in the draw,
Okay.
and it'll be fine.
Okay.
For draw here?
So Chantel looking at coming around the corner now that we're down to stick with Skip's rocks.
14-6 to top 12.
And
You
what
like
she
this?
means when she says she can throw similar to the draw, she means the
I
draw
think
to
I
the
can
button
too.
before the game.
Right.
Now, they did have first practice.
I think I can throw similar
And
to the draw.
we've talked to a number of the players, and we've talked about it on the air a little bit. They've told us that the paths are very sensitive to how many rocks have been thrown down. If you throw down a path 3 or 4 times in a row, it starts to keen up. If you leave it alone for a while, it'll go back to where it started. And the thing that we haven't touched on, the way the draw to the button is done nowadays, one team uses one side of the sheet, the other team uses the other side. I know Chantel had first practice. I don't actually know which side of the sheet she used, but the other side, her side of the sheet hasn't been used for a while because the Just team had second practice, would have used the other side.
Yeah, we certainly have seen that the ice is very weight sensitive, and it's a very heads-up type of play on behalf of the sweepers and the throwers to be aware of what the tracks are and the paths are and where they're throwing.
Yep.
That was a nice come around there by Chantel.
We've seen some more, let's just say, lengthy conversations in the hacks about what to throw in a particular spot. You usually hear teams confirm, they throw 14, 14 and a half, and they say, yep, or tell them the other number. But these conversations here tend to be a little bit longer because you have to consider how many rocks have been down that path recently.
Yeah, it's not automatic.
Sherry Just looking to make a play on that stone. Would like to keep her shooter in the rings as well. makes the hit, but not going to have enough to stick around.
Same thing. They jumped at the whole way. Was I to the broom?
Yep.
Okay. Well, we won't really tighten it up.
No.
So Chantel looking to do the same thing, maybe making it a bit better and hoping to force Sherry Just into taking a point.
Okay. Same thing. Yeah, it doesn't have to be in front of the tee line. Let's just get it buried. Yep.
Same ice or a little less?
It's the same. Okay.
It's interesting that Chantel had asked at the other end how she was to the broom and then didn't want to tighten it up. And if it was your own guard, you might tighten it up just a little bit, but you don't want to be any tighter coming around the opponent's guard and happen to tap it in.
Yeah.
But a good
Never
point, I
good.
thought, and she said, we don't have to be in front of the tee line. If this is hanging on the back 12-foot dead buried, Sherry Just is going to have to take a single here.
For sure. Whatever it takes to get the force here.
Here's buried. You clean. Can you go? Not yet. Tee line. We're wide open. Hard.
Here's buried. Go, Dana, hard. Go. I kicked that one, but I don't think
Comes to rest in the back of the 8-foot.
Really
And there's the look at it. Appears to be still half open.
Let me know what you think. A little bit less than last time, but okay.
Chantel was trying to get them to take it back to bury it, but I'm not sure they were entirely certain it was going to stop.
Yeah, I think that's what the sweepers were thinking. She asked at one point if they could go. They said not
Yeah,
yet.
they're a touch less than last time.
Okay.
Sherry Just started off the competition 4-0, trying to come off back-to-back losses. Get back into the win column. She's got last rock here in the first end of play, looking for the blank. And they're on the sweep early, now backed away. Off and on's usually a pretty good sign on a shot like this.
Yeah, sure is. Got a long way to roll.
Boy, they
Pretty quiet hit.
maybe got off that a little bit too quick. Comes in, makes the hit, but her shooter doesn't roll out of play. She'll take the single point and a 1-point lead into end number 2.
Yeah.
Dream big in full color with Apple and SaskTel on Saskatchewan's favorite networks.
White Ice, the ice paint people, set out to develop a very specific ice paint product that would satisfy the needs of the professional ice maker in both hockey and curling. White Ice was successfully formulated and tested, and distribution began in 1988 and has since expanded their line of products and services to meet the needs of today's professional ice makers. White Ice is distributed by Eastside Paint and Wallpaper in Saskatoon, who is also a signature Benjamin Moore paint dealer. White Ice and Eastside Paint and Wallpaper, defining the game.
Well, big matchups across the ice surface here tonight in Draw 7. And everybody through the first end. We've got scoring updates for you, Kim.
I sure do. And over on Sheet A, this is a game with those teams that are caught up in the middle. Streifel with a record of 3-2 and Barker with a record of 2-3. So both these teams need the win. Streifel played a draw to the 4-foot to try to score a single point, but she ticks a rock out front just for the single. To make the score 1-0 for Streifel. Jumping over to Sheet C, Howard against Silvernagel. Here we have Howard with a record of 1-4 playing Silvernagel with a record of 4-1. Ashley Howard has a wide open hit on the side of the 12-foot for the blank. They did have to measure it, and it was a blank, so score 0-0. Over on Sheet D here we have Mitchell Anderson, and Mitchell is the only team that we know is out of playoff contention with a record of 0-6. Anderson 3-2. So Anderson needed to draw into 2 Mitchell stones and just bumps off, stays for shot, and Mitchell makes a nice quiet tap for the 2 points. 2 points for Mitchell, 2-0 over Anderson.
I was looking for. I should have said that. I was looking for a low.
I don't know, is that Mitchell team, being a young team, make them extra dangerous in their last 2 draws when they've really got nothing to lose?
Yeah, you come out, you play loose, you have some fun, you've had some experience, you know what you're doing, and yeah, that's definitely true. Anything can happen. Those are the teams that get kind of scary.
Easy. Clean, yep.
We'll play here in this second end, once again in the rings.
Yep, for nose. Yep, for nose. Good. What a girl. Nice throw. 9-8.
I could see maybe like a 9-5. I think it was a little firmer than a 10.
Oh, okay.
But I don't.
So the Sherry Just team looking at rolling in towards center. Trying to keep the play in the rings here.
We had the Just team on this afternoon, for those of you who are with us with CurlSask.ca. And the Just team played very quickly this afternoon. They went into the last end with still 10 minutes on the clock. And here we are in the second end. We're just getting through the updates, and they're already on to second stones. They don't dawdle.
Yeah, that's true. Having said that, it was very wide open sort of defensive game this afternoon, kind of like the first end and this end. So it's easy to play quickly when you don't have any rocks in play.
Janet Tisdale now looking to remove that shot stone. Probably has to get just a little bit to the inside to get into the rings. They wouldn't mind staying right there, though.
It's fine.
Now that works for the Eberle team.
I know. It seems dirty out here, doesn't it? Head roll. Control.
The Just team, on the other hand, doesn't want to leave a corner guard here, so they will want to get into the rings.
Now looking to roll towards center.
Gets a little bit of a roll, not into the rings, but so tight it's dangerous stone for Chantel Eberle to come around. They're going to play to hit it.
All right, 10.
I don't know if we're going to see this, but I think if we say it, it'd be interesting to me anyway if Jana happens to hit this right on the nose and then Just team noses it again. Is that far enough out front that Chantel Eberle might try to use that corner guard even though it belongs to the opposition?
I would think so.
Yes. No roll. Good.
You should watch. I don't know, maybe he's watching hog lines and they just already pulled one first down. The center. Control.
Megan Anderson now.
Whoa.
Again, they're looking to roll towards the center line. Maybe get into the rings off this.
We're just gonna roll out. Okay. Okay.
They got that little bit outside, just makes contact. And
Okay.
it's enough to get it all the way through the back of the rings and out the side.
Not going to get your question answered,
No.
Sean. But, you know, you see you're calling for the corner guard, so
Pardon?
I'd be willing to bet.
No. Just my one. Okay.
She would have used it. Is it? We're on third's last rock here. Oh no, it's only her first rock. I'm sorry.
4-5. Okay. Coming down. 3.
Rush is saying this is in the rings.
You want to go to team? Yeah, you might as well. We're in.
And the rushers are right.
As we've said before as well, always seems to be a little quicker coming home.
What was that,
Or playing in these even ends as opposed to going the other way.
Okay. A little more. Yeah. Hard. Hard. Real hard. Yeah. Straight up. Yeah. Hard. Okay. 9-6.
Megan Anderson makes the hit, rolls across to the other side of the forefoot.
And straight up.
Certainly the Just team didn't come into this event seated amongst the favorites, but they've played very well so far.
Yeah,
It is a young team.
Oh, down it clean.
Yeah, they certainly got off to a great start this week.
Roll it, or no, it's not going anywhere.
Sitting right now at 4-2.
Control. It's hard to know what's going to happen on the center line. Maybe just give me a touch extra just in case. Okay.
For the most part, though, both teams on this particular matchup are what we would call young teams. Chantel Eberle, a bit more of a veteran, but a lot of young players out there.
Yeah, Chantel,
I
I suppose you could
She's the
call her
grizzled
a
veteran on
veteran
the
just
sheet.
because she's been here so many times and has accomplished so much. But playing with Shaylin, I believe it's her first year out of juniors at 21.
I believe so. I believe she was still playing juniors last year.
That's right. And Haley, 23. So, yeah, definitely got some young players with her.
10. Easy. 10-2. A little bit down. Just clean. Yeah. Clean. Just clean.
Here you see Hannah Anderson sweeping on the left. Well, watching Ellen Redlick sweep. She's also fresh out of juniors.
I don't know. 10-5? 10-5. Sit 10. You can roll it out a little bit. That'd be good. Okay.
Yeah, certainly.
We can roll it out that way just a little bit.
Curling in
that'd
our
be good.
province is in good hands, that's for sure. We've got some great juniors. Speaking of juniors, we're also got the Canadian juniors playing right now in PA, and our our Saskatchewan junior ladies and Saskatchewan junior men's are in the championship pool and still playing, and we certainly wish them the best of luck as well. They're making us proud.
10, 10-3. Clean. Whoa, whoa. 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 Yeah, whoa. No, you're fine. No roll. No roll. Should be good on its own. 6.
Makes the hit.
That's right.
Cheater will roll out of play. And that gives Sherry Just a chance to practice that draw weight.
Yeah, you always like those opportunities. The freebies, just to, whether it's learning the ice, practicing a throw, figuring out draw weight, always something you can learn with these.
20? Yeah. Do you think it's a little keener since practice?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe 25, 30.
Okay.
Like she gave us a 30 in practice, right, for the draw of the button? Yeah, I got 25. So
I'll
yeah,
try
it's the
similar.
same extension.
Okay.
Not quite as much extension.
Where is it?
Let it go.
Gotta curl it.
Take a look.
Gotta
We're okay,
curl
we're okay.
it.
We're okay. A little big.
Rushers were on this most of the way down. This is going to slide a little deep.
Good, sure.
Good sweeping.
There was never any danger, I don't think, that they were
Another time?
taking it through. Back forefoot.
So that was a 15.
So Chantel throwing the blank here, and I'm assuming you're going to see some pretty firm weight from Chantel. There's another player that is never scared to throw it hard. She can throw this big weight accurately.
I don't feel like it's gonna fall here as much.
Not this thing. Kind of weight?
Peel.
There's that dreaded word. As much as we've talked about those treacherous forefoot lines and tracking, and we haven't actually said fall yet.
Yeah, I wasn't going to use that word, actually.
Blank.
No problem with that one falling. It makes the hit, rolls out of play. You've got a blank end. Chantel Eberle will keep last rock into the third.
As Canada's grain industry leader, Viterra and its employees are connected to their communities across Western Canada. Through its community investment program, Viterra supports a wide variety of causes and initiatives, including those focused on sports and recreation that encourage teamwork, integrity, and high performance. These same values guide Viterra's employees when providing farm customers with trusted advice and quality service. Viterra is a proud sponsor of the Scotties Tournament of Hearts.
White Ice, the ice paint people, set out to develop a very specific ice paint product that would satisfy the needs of the professional ice maker in both hockey and curling. White Ice was successfully formulated and tested, and distribution began in 1988 and has since expanded their line of products and services to meet the needs of today's professional ice makers. White Ice is distributed by Eastside Paint and Wallpaper in Saskatoon, who is also a signature Benjamin Moore paint dealer. White Ice and Eastside Paint and Wallpaper, defining the game.
Well, we mentioned that in our feature game, Sherry Just playing at a brisk pace. All the games here tonight already through two ends and a couple midway through the third. Kim, you've got another update for us?
I do. These games are moving right along. On sheet 1, sheet A, Streifel came up light on an open draw to the rings to sit 2 to get the force, but Barker then nosed the blank attempt. So, score 1-1. Over on sheet C, play was towards the outside of the rings, and Ashley ignored a rock behind a corner guard and decided to just draw, but came up light, and Silvernagel steals one. Over on sheet D, Mitchell against Anderson. Promising two-ender disappeared when Anderson hit and rolled out, and Mitchell hit and sticks on a shot rock to sit 2. Anderson then had a draw against 2 into the 12-foot for the point, so the score is 2-1 in favor of Mitchell.
And on our feature sheet, the play once again into the rings.
Are you surprised at that, Sean?
Well, we saw the Just team this afternoon, and they played it similar to this. They'd bring those first stones into the rings. We did wonder, or at least I did, wondered about it later on in the game in the odd ends when clearly Sherry Anderson was content to blank the odd end. Thought that perhaps Sherry Just would play a center guard just to make the Anderson team a little more uncomfortable. They didn't play one. They actually got one sort of by accident, came up short on a draw, and it did cause Sherry Anderson some distress. It was not the end she wanted to play. Now we're still only in the third.
It was not the end she wanted to play, but Sherry Anderson managed to get 3 out of it.
Clean ya. Good throw. Good throw.
And as I was saying, still just the third end, so I don't know if you'd worry about that this early, but at some point in time, if Chantel Eberle keeps being content to play open ends in the odd ends, and you don't have last rock and you don't have the lead, you're going to have to make a decision to make her uncomfortable, make her play when she doesn't want to play.
Yeah, I certainly agree with that.
10 on the nose.
So, shot for shot here.
Control. Okay.
Hits and rolls just towards the outside. Chantel looking for the nose, hoping then that the Sherry Just team noses it and they perhaps have a corner.
That one might be too tight yet at that point in time, but for both teams here, the key, you want to hit, you want to stay. You don't want to give the other team too many chances to get that free draw and get comfortable with the draws, especially in an open game like this. The player can go a long time without throwing a draw, So
Yeah.
you don't want to give your opposition a chance to get a free one in
To
just
practice.
to practice.
Yeah.
Good. Good girl. 9.
You never know when a draw could come in a touchy situation. If you can get somebody who hasn't thrown one in 3 or 4 ends, you got a better chance of getting a miss out of them, especially on this ice where, as we said, all the paths
tracky.
have been so different.
Yeah.
Yep. Hard.
They were on this one right away.
You can see it starting to come across that 4-foot line, and it will go right by. We've seen rocks move inside that 4-foot line. That one actually seemed to move earlier. It was coming across the line pretty well.
So what do you think here? Think I can get away with 15? Yep. Okay. That's what Shay's was.
There's the time we hear 15. We've mentioned it all week long as well, how nice and quick the ice is, though.
Talking
Usually.
about the time between the hog lines on a draw. Janet Tisdale with a chance to draw to the open side of the house. And the Eberle team with a chance here to get 2.
It's running a little. No, it's not running. It's curling quite a bit. About here.
Some indecision from the sweepers based on the information both ends. And the sweeper that's in now is the one trying to make it curl extra.
And a girl, and I didn't get a time.
So looking at playing the roll right over to the other one, trying to group them, so at some point they might have a chance at a double.
Chantal Eberle not going to go out of her way to be aggressive in the odd end, but after that miss, if you're going to get a fairly risk-free and fairly easy opportunity at a deuce, you're going to take that anytime you get it.
Yeah, I would think so. I don't think you ever say no thanks.
Yeah, well, you don't have to be very aggressive here. You're not risking a force.
No.
Just keep splitting the rings, and if the Just team can't manipulate the rocks into a spot where they can get a double, you should get a chance for 2 here.
Yeah.
So probably that close that push, just no pop.
Line tight.
I'm good. Stop slow, okay?
Hearing a 3, so sounding a little short.
Maybe 4.
Got to do some major sweeping.
I guess I should never say that. Hey.
What you think?
And I don't know, dare I say it, they had to sweep a little harder after Chantal came out and kind of got in the way.
Yeah, sometimes you're better off to just stay in the house. Skips and thirds, watch the line. Not
It is
sure
a
the
co-
third sweeper really helps much, to be honest, on this. She was coming out to perhaps chat, I'm not sure.
It is still a corner guard, and the open stone's on the other side of the sheet, so if you ever get a rollout here, you might still get a chance to use it, try to get a deuce.
Okay.
Like
Good
this.
sweep. Or just here more.
And she just threw it, so
That's like a 4.
gets a chance to come around.
Okay, with that same release. Yeah.
Shailene just threw it. Chantal threw this shot twice in the first end, too. They got nicely by the guard on both of those. Didn't get the finish they were looking for to bury.
Yeah, that's right.
Looks big. Looks big. 7. 8. Okay.
Weight call from the brushers is that this rock's a little bit deep. They don't want to take it behind the tee if they don't have
Right
to.
behind the tee. Hey.
Sorry.
I think I heard Chantal say not just right behind the tee, which is right
Exactly
where it
where
ended
they
up.
left
Yeah.
it.
That's one of those ones where you're just waiting and hoping it's going to stop in front of the
Yeah.
tee line. By the time you realize it's not, it's really too late to take
Yeah.
it back any deeper.
Yeah, those are tough on sweepers, you know, because exactly what you said. You're hoping and praying it stops, and you Yeah, you need to make a decision early to take it well back behind the tee line.
What I
And
did before.
it's a tough call.
30. I think you can see quite a bit of it. Okay.
Sherry Just's first
How
thought
much
was
can
to
you see?
freeze down to that, but as she got out to the hog line, she thinks she can see a fair bit of it.
Okay. Yeah, we'll just draw down. Okay.
And not.
And from the hack in, they said, no,
Yeah.
you can't.
So looking to just freeze on top of it.
I think 20, 30?
Okay, we'll just draw down to it.
35, 30? Is it T line?
About that, yeah.
Okay. Like 25, 30?
Okay.
And when they say 25-30, they're
Pretty much same way
timing
we
from
drew
the
before.
back line to the hog line. And 25-30 is just
It'll
that
run straight for a bit.
last number. So they'll be looking for
Yeah.
425, 430,
Which is
lightning quick.
really quick. Yeah.
Rushers feel like this one might be a little bit warm. They didn't want to sweep it early, but they're cleaning now.
Where is it? 7? Yes!
Really curling towards that guard. She's got to stay on the inside of this stone to be shot rock as well.
Unless she bumps it a bit.
And she will bump just about a foot.
Great save.
Sure. We angle it. Sure. Or push it a little, eh?
So Sherry looking at just playing the corner freeze, even bumping it a bit, maybe sitting
Two
too.
would be great.
I like it.
Okay. So this is what I would give for a draw, but I'm just going to do this. Right?
Just
We got to be closer, right?
You?
Throw
Yeah.
pretty
Oh,
much
yeah.
what I
threw, hey?
It's just a freeze tap, right?
a 17-9. We are on it. She's tapping it, hey? Yeah.
The front end is having way
We
too
have
much
to
fun.
move
Yeah.
it 2 or 3 inches to be.
They're enjoying this.
So basically, freeze on the corner and move it an inch, right?
Okay.
So you heard the call there.
And if we're close to the guard, we can go, right? Like.
Okay.
Okay. So drilling through 14.5, but probably gonna throw a little less.
Yep.
Chantel Eberle with her first stone here in the third end.
Yes.
Ellie Jamieson picked it up early there, yelling, whoa, she doesn't want to get off. She might be thinking this is a little bit light. Needs to come down to the corner of that yellow.
I'm waiting for it to curl or trying to get it to curl. Certainly going to bump off it enough. Leaves are sitting too.
These are sitting too, but leaves a fairly makeable double. It is
Yes.
thin, but when they're so close together, even if you're a little thick, you're still going to make contact with
I
that
was a little
stone.
tighter,
right.
and then I couldn't get
Okay,
them
I wonder
off.
if we can get it.
And when this double is made, they're both going to be behind the corner. Making the force.
I might just have to go the other way. Okay.
Sweepers seem to be sweeping that like they thought they needed to make the bump for sure, and I think the first call was the corner freeze,
Yeah.
and you bump
Yeah,
it
I mean,
if
I guess
you've got the
we
good
hit
line.
here.
Yeah, yeah, that needed to curl for sure.
Yeah, I don't know if it goes up. We should be able, like it's so straight here. Like we should be able to get it right here. Okay. Go here.
Looking at playing it with the intern.
I'll look at down there. If it doesn't look good, I'll change the turn.
Sometimes they look good from this end, and from the other end, it's a
Well,
bit of a different look. Oh, there's
yeah,
plenty of room,
does-
though, I see. I thought it was a little tighter to that corner.
Oh, it looks pretty tight to me with what she's got to hit to make the double.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it looks good from down here.
Double? What are you throwing? What do we do?
Yeah, so we have to just we'll look at a piece of hair. Okay. We just need to pretty much just get the top one
Okay, weight-wise.
to get the back one.
Okay, have you got that, Kim?
Nine.
Sherry Dust needs to just get the top one.
At least.
I just got it.
Nine's good.
Okay, good throw.
Called it early.
He's already inside that 4-foot line. Might have to go to a plan B here, just play the hit and roll. Well, it curls too much for that, and it's a nose hit. So Chantel Eberle, with a chance to make her deuce here, just needs to hit this on the nose. If she is a little bit on the broom side, she could roll into the yellow stone. and
Yeah, certainly
get it
has
two that way.
We know it's
has a
fast.
stopper
Yeah.
over there.
Little less then.
Sherry Just has shown a couple of times that she's not scared of coming by those guards like that on those hits, but that guard had to be in the line of sight to make that double. It was such a thin double in the first place. You had to get tight by that guard to hit what you needed. I don't know whether that factored into the throw or not.
Yeah.
Chantel Eberle with her final stone makes the hit. Does roll up against that yellow stone, picks up her 2 points. She'll take a 2-1 lead into the 4th end.
9-4. This is a little big.
So, whatever you like to watch, stream, upload, and share, do it all with unlimited internet from SaskTel. The internet's constantly expanding, but you can keep up with unlimited internet. So, whatever you like to watch, stream, upload, and share, do it all with unlimited internet from SaskTel.
As Canada's grain industry leader, Viterra and its employees are connected to their communities across Western Canada. Through its community investment program, Viterra supports a wide variety of causes and initiatives, including those focused on sports and recreation that encourage teamwork, integrity, and high performance. These same values guide Viterra's employees when providing farm customers with trusted advice and quality service. Viterra is a proud sponsor of the Scotties Tournament of Hearts.
Well, the 3rd end just coming to an end on sheet A, already done on all of the other sheets. Kim, you've got scoring updates for us?
I sure do. On sheet A, Barker safely clears the Streifel rock past her own shot rock to force Streifel to play a side-by-side double to try to count 2. However, didn't quite make that, and it was a steal of 1 for Barker. Over on sheet C, Howard was looking at 2 silver nagel stones, and she knows his shot rock to count the single points, so tie game there, 1-1. Over on sheet D, the Mitchell team that's playing relatively loose and enjoying this experience. Sitting second shot, Mitchell had a quiet weight hit around a corner guard to take out the rock that the Anderson team just drew there, and she hits and stays, counts her 2 points, makes that score 4-1, Mitchell over Anderson. Back to our feature game, and the Eberle team throws one into the rings. Stops on the button, and we see Sherry Just playing the hit.
There's the lead, Hannah Anderson.
Yep. Clean. No clean. Just clean. Just clean. Just clean. Gotta roll.
Looking to hit and roll off the center line. Ends up with the nose hit. I would have loved to get a roll to the corner there if Chantel Eberle then was to hit this, stay in the corner. You might have seen the corner guard go up. Chantel Eberle wants to keep the play in the middle. Haley Jameson being asked to hit and stay right there. A lot of weight on this one. Make the
More
hit.
than expected.
Bit of a roll, does stay at the edge of the forefoot.
My fault. Control.
So Sherry Just looking at hitting this.
Not far enough away from the center line to convince her to throw the corner guard.
Not yet.
But this is your last chance to do it for free.
And by free, you mean the
The 3 guards.
5 rock free guard zone. That could not be removed.
They were looking initially to come across the face of this and roll to the open side. Made the decision at the end to try to roll a little bit further to the open. The side they're already on, but a little too late. Gets the nose hit.
You got it. Straight up.
They want to get the play away from the middle.
Nine. No. 9-6.
Clean. Yep. Arms. Easy.
Clean.
Yep.
Yep.
You gotta go.
Yep.
Gotta go. Go. 9-3.
You can talk about all kinds of rule changes over the years. 3 rock, 3 guard, 4 rock, 3 guard. Now the 5 rock.
5 rock.
One thing doesn't change. The team without last rock wants to play in the middle of the sheet, and the team with last rock wants to play on the corners.
Yeah.
Ellen Redlick now.
Yep. Whoa! Yes! Whoa!
Oh, good clean.
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
Both teams struggling a little bit early with the line calls. We've had both teams I've seen do it where the shooter might call the sweep on right out of their hand. The person holding the broom in the house yelling, whoa.
The opposite.
The opposite.
Yeah. I guess that might tell you the ice might be a tiny bit tricky.
It's a little bit tricky, and all the teams are having that same issue, different paths.
Yeah.
Not a girl. 10-4. Could be the path too. Not nearly used like the other side.
Yeah.
And I figured it was going to move a little bit. So what?
And again, you hear Chantel talking about paths and how it might have affected even a hit.
Yeah. You don't hear that very often, that's for sure.
Whoa. No. Never.
Yep.
Go,
Yeah,
go. Whoa.
Whoa. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yes. Hard. Hard. Roll it. Roll it. Okay. Getting the rolls. What's that? 10. That's good. Okay. 10.
Yeah, right up.
So even at this late in the end, Sean, if there's a rollout, do you think you'll think that both teams are content to keep throwing him in the rings here?
This late in the end, I think likely they would be. What I find interesting is to look at just how tight they put the broom on a hit like this. And this is right on the 4-foot line, and there you see. That's been kind of a recurring theme through the week. When you get a hit right on that 4-foot line, it really depends whether you get
where you hit.
And the sweepers can see
Yeah.
it. I mean, the sweepers almost get involved in the line call. They can see if that rock grabs the line, they know it's going to stay there, but that rock never got out to that 4-foot line that runs the length of the sheet.
And that's inside that line is where you see the curl.
Should be a guard.
Okay, make sure.
Well, I guess here's our answer.
Gotta curl. Make sure. Gotta get close. One. Make sure. Hard girls.
I can. Gotta switch. Yeah, gotta curl.
2.
Far as you can. Far as you can. Far as you can. Okay, great sweep. That's good. Really nice.
Well, I like the call. I'm just a little surprised given what we've seen of Sherry's team this afternoon.
Fighting isn't bad,
Okay.
but I like it just up here.
Probably pretty similar to that one throw I threw,
All
hey?
right, here's another guard.
It's like a 16.
Trying to get more to the center. Sounding pretty deep here.
It's sounding like an auction. 4, 5, 6.
I don't know, no. Okay, Shay.
What's up?
14:25. Okay, shake it off.
And that stone comes to rest in the back of the 12-foot, so really caught them by surprise.
Yeah.
Even 4, 5, 6, as they're calling it, still in the front of the house. That slides all the way to the back 12.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty much the spot, especially coming home, that we see that it just gets quicker and quicker and quicker.
A little more.
Megan Anderson made the guard on her first stone. Now has a chance to come around it and perhaps set up a deuce here. Made a switch to try to get some curl. Now it's really moving on. They may have switched too early. Are they going to be able to get it by? A great job by the Brushers.
I backed up into that rock a little bit. Yeah, you can do it back a little bit.
But I'm not sure why they worked so hard to bring it behind the tee line.
Exactly what I was just wondering, why they were still sweeping.
Okay,
So Chantel looking at following that down.
Like it picked up.
I think she's on past there.
Okay.
You don't think
Okay.
you got her. Some top tee.
Yeah.
To back 14-1, I think.
Well, it does give Chantel Eberle the chance to sit on top of it and take it away that way.
Left that the whole
It is
way,
buried.
15-4.
Yeah,
And
that
it's
it is.
just back tee.
So we want to be frozen on the inside of it.
Okay. So
But if we're an inch or two buried and we're top 8, that's okay.
Okay.
There you go.
It's nice here.
Okay.
It is, yeah.
Little tight.
Line's good.
No, you're good.
Top tee. Top tee.
This one's certainly outside of the path that Megan Anderson Stone just took. Nothing out of the brushers yet.
You're back.
Looking a little deep too.
Try.
And that'll slide far enough that it is still the Yellowstone belonging to Sherry Just that is shot rock.
Yeah, great opportunity now for the Just team to get this on top of the tee line, and
Ellen, for so many reasons, that first Yellowstone a little bit too deep. If you come in front of it now, you take away that freeze. Also, it brings 3 into play. You know, that's why it's important to get that red one back as far as she did. If it stops for shot rock, you may have to make a play on it to make sure you have a chance for 2.
Down there now. So we're thinking like a 30. Okay. Did you get a hug to hog on place? Are we 1?
Can't remember what it was. Yeah, we're 1.
Okay. And we want this just in front?
Yeah, just in front of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Top 8 buried is good.
we have a good crowd tonight here, as you can see. Bleachers are filling up out here. You can hear the crowd.
Line's good. Line's really good.
Brushers picked this one up right away.
Really good. Gotta go. Easy if you can. Yeah. Finish it. Hard, girls.
Telling them the line's good, but the brushers have said
Still
that
up to
hasn't
go.
changed, that they have to go. Well, they did
Great
everything
line.
they could, not able to get it in for second shot, but it does protect that stone at the back of the tee line. The freeze won't be available.
Yeah, so you need to be careful, right?
Okay.
I go to 1575. That would be ideal.
Look like
If we
she
came to
tapped
here
up.
and it's perfectly
I think I heard
flat,
1575, and they got that to the top of the 8-foot.
That's quick. That's when you just set it down and blow.
Be on this side,
That's not
right?
even that bad either.
Well, it is, because that's a double. Yeah, so that's worse. This is better.
I think if you throw 1575 in a league game, you're going to hog that rock and buy a round.
You're going to be at the benches.
You just don't want to give her the tap for 3, right? This is what we want.
So Chantel looking to play the
This
freeze
line
on
I
that
just
back
threw
red
was
one,
what
gets
we
her
needed.
shot rock.
I wonder if it's going to curl earlier or not.
Changes the path just a little bit, although
Top tee again.
Yeah.
obviously she just threw that red one there, so it is very exactly the same as what she just threw to put it there.
Okay, well, we're 2. Okay. We can sneak an inch behind that top yellow one. That's ideal. Okay. I mean, we can come to our back red, just not bounce off of it. Yep. We can be shot if we come to the red. Okay. So a little bit
Yeah,
less. but
just
now we
as
have
you
a little
said, you
more
don't want to
line.
flop off it at all, that's for sure.
well.
Especially if you bump it an inch, because suddenly yellow will be second and third.
She can't rub the one that Sherry just threw either, because it would leave a straight back double for 3.
Okay.
This is not an easy shot.
It's a pretty precise shot.
Line's good.
Just to oversimplify it, she just has to throw the exact same thing she just did. That's her rock there.
Brushers picked this one up right out of her hand, though they didn't touch the first one.
I think they have to go for weight.
Yep.
Whoa. Whoa.
And it will come up just a little bit short, but
Oh, did we change shots there? Did she tell you we were freezing to the top? Okay.
I think she's got third out of it, so even if you could get tight by that guard and move the back one, it's still only for 2, so it'll be a straight draw here.
Yeah.
for Sherry Just.
For her 2 points.
Same weight with a better extension should be good.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, T-line.
Yeah.
There's a factor on a shot like this that your sweeper's just swept from the second you let go for apparently 15.75 seconds between the hog lines and then another 8 or 9 as it was coming in.
I tell you, the sweepers definitely get their workout on ice like this, that's for sure.
They're just cleaning now, and 6-7 should mean it's in the forefoot. This is going sideways. That had to have picked. Great job by the brushers to get it into the rings, and looks to be enough to get her 2.
I think so.
2 yellow it is. Sherry Just will pick up 2 points here in the fourth end, pardon me. She takes the 3-2 lead into the 5th end.
Dream big in full color with Apple and SaskTel on Saskatchewan's favorite networks.
White Ice, the ice paint people, set out to develop a very specific ice paint product that would satisfy the needs of the professional ice maker in both hockey and curling. White Ice was successfully formulated and tested, and distribution began in 1988 and has since expanded their line of products and services to meet the needs of today's professional ice makers. White Ice is distributed by Eastside Paint and Wallpaper in Saskatoon, who is also a signature Benjamin Moore paint dealer. White Ice and Eastside Paint and Wallpaper, defining the game.
Kristen Streifel, you can see just coming out of the hacks with her final stone of end number 4 on sheet A. We'll let you know what's going on there, and as well as with all of the other games here in this exciting draw 7. Kim?
Yeah, I'm just watching the last shot coming down the sheet here. I see that Kristen, looks to me like Kristen has to draw full 4 to get her point here, and it's coming into the house as we speak. The sweepers have backed off, but I see the brooms go up, and it was a good shot, so 1 point for Kristen Streifel, ties that game.
There we go. Not going to be able to get the camera into place quite quick enough, but I'll assure you it was a single.
Yeah, over here on sheet C, Howard ticked on a guard to remove half a buried stone, and Silvernagel drew to the house for 2 points. Score there, 3-1 for Silvernagel. And over on sheet D, we had a blank end. Sherry Anderson made a nice double on her first to set up that blank, so the score remains 4-1, Mitchell over Anderson. All games now into the 5th end.
And in the 5th end of our feature game, the first rock
in
is
the house.
Into the 12-foot.
And Sherry Just is going to hit it.
Well, this is the second one. They hit and stayed. Now again, looking to hit and stay.
Okay, 9-8.
I think you'd have to think here that Chantal Eberle content to play for the blank and play for the even ends. We've seen it before because this stone well over on the corner. If she wanted to try for reduce here, this would be the time to throw a corner guard.
Right, and she's not, so I think you've hit that right on the head.
But if you get this set up next end, I think you'll see them call the corner guard. A rollout there.
Sherry Just calling it for the top 4.
That much tight? I thought you were a little tight, but I was not ever concerned, like, we'll still be able to keep it there. I wasn't like, oh my God, yeah. Lines of hair tight. Oh, there.
Top 4.
5, 6. Okay, easy then.
Top 4.
Starting to curl. 6, 7.
Starting to curl.
Weights there. Going. 6, 7.
Good. Okay, 14.
Ellen Redlick brings her draw into the top 4 foot, maybe just grabs the corner of the button.
Did she say 14?
10.
What?
14.
Oh.
Jana Tisdale now will look to hit and stay
10?
right there.
Yeah, you got it.
Little wobble.
Yeah.
Nice
It's
recovery.
interesting the looks we get on the faces when you see that little wobble.
Yeah. Yep.
Well,
I think picked.
yeah, we talked about it. Sherry Just's final draw last end certainly didn't look like it was coming in at a natural angle. You have to think it picked. Great job by the brushers to get it all the way in for second shot.
Yeah.
And there we have another pick. And I thought I heard somebody saying it's, and we've got all the players mic'd. Sometimes it's hard to tell who's talking, but I thought I heard somebody say it earlier in the game about it being really dirty out here.
I did hear that.
10-2 or 10-3. Darn.
We do have a lot of spectators in the building for this draw. There's been a little bit of foot traffic in the building. And players are all pretty careful about what they track in. You see a lot of them come out to the ice surface without their shoes on. They'll put their shoes on after they get here.
That's right.
Okay, just leave it high.
And you still have the sticky pads for those that don't.
We're into draw number 7. We haven't really had any significant problem with picks up until now, but it's something we're going to have to keep the eye on here a little bit. That looks like 2 fairly significant ones in the first 5 ends.
Yeah.
All right, just 9-5 here.
So that rock coming just offset on the other one that's in there gives Jana a nice chance at the double here.
9. Yes. Firm. Yes. Hard.
Called it early.
Whoa. Okay, that's fine.
Makes the hit, stays right there. Not able to get the double.
8-5.
Control. They called 9.
And like,
Coming at us the other way.
that's my
I think it curls hard the other way. Do you want to go across the face?
Yeah. Just came out right
Okay, let's
again.
go this way.
I do like the logic of coming into it this way rather than crossing face. I could see what she was talking about. Although Sherry certainly had her reasons why she wanted to play the other way. She says this curls hard.
Well, it curls hard, just take more ice. Visually, for the thrower, it's always a little nicer coming into a stone.
I agree.
Well, this stone's going to need to curl hard.
Okay.
She'll make the hit, but not able to hold the shooter.
10.
So a chance now for the Eberle team to recover from that
Keep
earlier
a firm on it.
picked stone.
Yeah.
10.
No harm, no foul by it. Isn't that your line? Well, actually, you didn't come up with that, I don't think. You just used it.
I have to say, I did not originate that line.
Hard.
Yeah. Hard. Right to it. Watch the roll. Good sweep,
Nice
Haley.
throw.
You're all shot.
Control.
Still sticks around over there.
Does stay the back 12 foot. I had a chance between games to talk to the girls a little bit, and one thing I hadn't asked, I know that Megan Anderson, that is not her maiden name, but did check to see if the Anderson girls were related, and they are not. I should have asked if either of them was related to Sherry. It was causing me all kinds of trouble this afternoon.
That's right. Lots of Andersons around here. None of them are related.
Hard. Yeah, you gotta go. Hard line. Hard.
Sounding a little panicked here.
Hard. Great, sweet.
And still sticks around. Back 12 foot, right on center line.
Not to sound like a broken record, but we've talked about this before. You want to stay with those. You want to keep these teams hitting, because we've seen how tricky the draws can be. If you could keep a player from throwing a draw for 3-4 ends and they have to throw it in a critical situation.
Yeah.
We saw it last end. A draw that they thought, granted it was an auction call on the way down, 4, 5, 6, ended up in the back 12 foot. If you haven't thrown a draw for a couple ends, it's real tough to just pull draw weight out of your back pocket on this ice.
For sure.
Make them hit.
Yeah, good point.
Don't give them that free chance.
The free practice throw.
Just clean. Just clean. Clean, yeah. Clean.
No mistake from Sherry Just, makes the hit stays right there.
Sure does.
Chantel Eberle now.
10-1.
One more time, she'll be looking for the nose hit here. And hoping to get an opportunity to hit and roll a blank fifth.
Sherry might, with her next one, look at rolling somewhere that might be a little bit more difficult, not giving Chantel the same shot twice here.
Why don't you just say the 4-foot line? I know what you mean, because we've seen it so much this week.
Well, we sure have.
If you can get a rock on the 4-foot line, we have seen complete open misses on that 4-foot line. If you're a little bit back, it might float away.
Yeah.
If you don't get out to that 4-foot line, we've seen rocks curl by.
That's where they curl, exactly. Yeah, it's tricky.
It's not just the throws. It plays with your head as a thrower.
Oh, for
I
sure.
don't dare be wide, and now you're a little bit inside.
You baby it, and
And there's no doubt it's happened that way a few times this week.
Yeah, it sure has.
10-1. Shay. 10-1. Nice job.
Yeah.
Chantel Eberle gets a roll towards that 4-foot line, but it's still inside it a little bit.
That was nice.
Yeah.
We're just a little bit more positive than
Oh, but I like it, because there I know it's going to curl.
Yeah,
right?
no, more positive than me. That's why I just
Oh, yeah.
curl there. Like, as
Did
much
you
as
time it?
10-1.
Oh, yeah.
It's my time's good?
Well, they were higher. The second one was a 9.4 and a 9.7. Something was the first one. But
They weren't sure what my first one was. So I didn't know how much harder to pick.
Sherry Just with her final stone here.
Clean.
Looking for the hit. Stay right near that 4-foot line. This is going to have to curl a little bit if it's going to stay. Makes the hit, but it will roll out of play. That gives Chantel Eberle the chance to just throw this stone through.
yeah.
You can just stay. Pardon? Fifth then, so you can stay. Oh, I'm going to bring it down there anyways. Oh, or I'll forget it down here. Alright. Okay, then I'll stay and you can go. Don't fight about
And once
it.
this is
We
through, you'll
are.
see the teams have their fifth end break, have a chance to talk with the coaches. We know from what we saw this afternoon that Sherry Just was content to play it this way. They seem to want to get through the first 5, have their meeting, and decide how they wanted to approach things in the last 5. So certainly they're comfortable with where things sit right now. Chantel Eberle only down 1. She's got last rock. You got to think she's happy with the spot that she's in as well. So it is a blank end. Chantel Eberle will keep last rock into the 6th end of play. Going into the break, it's Sherry Just with a 1-point lead. Kim Hodson has made her way down to ice level, and we're going to see if we can get a word with Sherry just before she meets with her team and coach. And I see that Sherry is with Kim now. Kim?
Hey, Sherry, for the second time, we're seeing you again today. Good game so far?
Yes, for sure. Yeah, no, it's been a
Clean game so far.
And that was going to be my question. It appears to be very defensive. Rocks throwing in the rings, not a lot of guards, pretty open. Is that part of the game plan, and why?
Just part of their game plan for right now, just to get the girls into it. Second half might be a little bit different, so.
And that was going to be my next question. We start right away in the sixth end, starting to mix it up, or that's the game plan for the second half, getting a little more offensive?
Yes. We'll definitely see a few more rocks in play for the second half. So.
All right. Thank you. Good luck.
Perfect. Thank you.
Saskatchewan Championship Curling is brought to you by SaskTel, Viterra, White Ice and Eastside Paint and Wallpaper, CurlSask, SaskTel Max TV, and Asham Curling Supplies.
As Canada's grain industry leader, Viterra and its employees are connected to their communities across Western Canada. Through its community investment program, Viterra supports a wide variety of causes and initiatives, including those focused on sports and recreation that encourage teamwork, integrity, and high performance. These same values guide Viterra's employees when providing farm customers with trusted advice and quality service. Viterra is a proud sponsor of the Scotties Tournament of Hearts.
Dream big in full color with Apple and SaskTel on Saskatchewan's favorite networks.
White Ice, the ice paint people, set out to develop a very specific ice paint product that would satisfy the needs of the professional ice maker in both hockey and curling. White Ice was successfully formulated and tested, and distribution began in 1988 and has since expanded their line of products and services to meet the needs of today's professional ice makers. White Ice is distributed by Eastside Paint and Wallpaper in Saskatoon, who is also a signature Benjamin Moore paint dealer. White Ice and Eastside Paint and Wallpaper, defining the game.
Awesome.
Not better. Yeah. Could be better.
Want to try it and have some fun? Hurry hard to your local curling center or visit CurlSask.ca to find a curling center near you.
The internet's constantly expanding, but you can keep up with unlimited internet. So whatever you like to watch, stream, upload, and share, do it all with unlimited internet from SaskTel. The internet's constantly expanding, but you can keep up with unlimited internet. So whatever you like to watch, stream, upload, and share, do it all with unlimited internet from SaskTel.
'Cause you're here in my house. You're here in my house. Come on in. Bring your friend. Yeah, make yourself at home. Here in my house.
Well, all of the games now to the fifth end break. quickly update all of the scores as we wait for our feature game to get back onto the sheet.
Yeah, for sure. We have, sorry, I glanced over and saw a different shot. Sheet A, we have Streifel against Barker. Barker had a nice hit and stick to get her 2 points, make that score 4-2. Barker over Streifel. Over on sheet C, Silvernagel made a tricky takeout to avoid a jam on her own stone. Howard then hits and sticks to count her 1 point, so make that score 3-2 right now. Silvernagel over Howard. And this happened to be the shot I was watching. Sherry Anderson just made a nice in-off on one off the outside to, and that was the noise you heard from the crowd, to get her 3 points. So we now have that game tied up at 4-4. Back over to our feature game. Sherry Just.
Sherry Just promised us more rocks and then
she
threw
did.
one at the top of the 4
and
foot.
Then threw it in the top of the 4 foot.
She must have got a memo from Chantel Eberle saying that when you throw this one to the top of the 4 foot, we're going to throw the corner guard.
Yeah.
So she was right. We're going to see more rocks.
Yeah. So we see Eberle throw in the corner, and my guess is then we'll see a center guard.
14-3, I think she said. No, I was like, first you like turn the broom down, and then.
But have a look though.
I think you're good.
You just don't want it.
No, you're good.
To,
You're good. You're good.
On a girl. No, wait.
Nice corner guard.
Nice throw.
Now we see a center guard.
Sorry, what? 3, 4? 3. Okay.
Yeah, did you see it? Yeah.
You do see a number of teams play it this way since the free guard zone, not just the 5 rock, but even the 4. You throw that first one into the top of the 4 foot, knowing that the other team's going to throw the corner guard. And then if your stone's in a good enough position to try to steal with it, now you'll cover it.
Yep. Yeah, you just do it in reverse, you know. Instead of throwing the center guard, they throw a corner, you come around. Would you rather guard it or?
Straighter conditions here, and sometimes it's a little easier to throw the guard second.
It is. As long
But
as
it
you
has to
don't
stop.
go into the rings.
And makes it a moot point, slides into the 12 foot, so
yeah.
Chantel Eberle able to make a play on this
I
stone.
don't even mind that, actually. 10? Yep.
Straight hit and roll here, or do you think they're looking for the double, or either or?
Yeah, they certainly have options, but if they wanted the hit and roll, I thought they would have rolled behind the corner. The fact that she's playing the just off the nose makes me think they're maybe playing the double.
10. Easy. 9, 8. Clean, yeah. Yeah. Hard. Whoa. Whoa. Yep. Jenna.
Just like that. Nice shot by
Makes
Haley.
the double, and actually, I think she's biting the top of the 12 foot as well.
Hand roll to center. Control.
Well, now it becomes a little bit of a game of cat and mouse. Sherry Just try to keep these rocks on the center line. Chantel Eberle waiting for even just a bit of a half shot. If you roll too far, she'll try to come around that corner guard and see if she can't get her deuce that way.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the hit. It's going to roll past the center line, fully into the 12 foot, but exposed with enough room, I think, to make the roll underneath.
Yeah, sure does.
Just 10.
So looking at coming across face and getting in behind that corner.
Looking for some extra curl to try to get the roll behind the corner. Get it just to the nose. And it is biting the top of the 12 foot. Now a chance for Sherry Just to get that rock back to the center line. That'll fall to Ellen Redlick now. makes the hit, does roll a couple of inches towards the center line.
A little too tight for Chantel.
Yeah, dangerous stone for her to leave there.
Yeah.
Dangerous for her to hit it on the nose, though, as well. You hit this on the nose, and you might see Sherry just go around it.
Yeah, I agree.
Hard. Come on, gotta go. Hard. No roll.
Boy, that's Carolyn.
I think the nose hit's going to be a concern. Makes the hit rolls wider to the corner.
Just in a bit. Just on release.
Yeah. Peel.
Oh God, just a second.
Peel in the corner.
Get these down there.
Sherry just not liking the way this end is setting up. 2 corner guards over there. Not really a steal situation. Not looking good for a force either. Doesn't want to come around the opposition's corner guard and perhaps give them a chance to score 2. So making a play to get rid of this. Might be able to get them both. Jess goes over the top.
Could have almost touched that one in, too.
Well, there's that danger as well.
I got a 4-2 on there, Haley.
Shaylin Kitts now will look to replace the corner guard. They do have the one tight one, but it's so wide, it's hard to know where to put the broom to get around that.
That's true, and you did see that Sherry was peeling this, so you replace it, maybe hoping for a jam or a tick on one of those back ones.
Let it die. 15-8. Yeah, you're out.
Nice throw.
15-8, and it wouldn't have taken much to put that in the rings.
No.
So playing the peel here, and Chantel's sort of hoping for a jam or a spin in.
A little more. Hannah. A little more. Hannah.
Now you're playing the peel on a guard and you're looking for the offside sweep. That's not a good sign. Manages
Just
to
like
pick it
that.
over the top. We're at that point in the end now where if Chantel Eberle is going to try to score 2, she's going to have to use that tight corner guard.
And she is.
She's coming around it. I wondered if they might, because it's so
Tap
tight,
it.
I wondered if they might try to
Yeah.
tap it. It's sometimes easier to get dead buried that way.
I don't know if they've played that far out to know the ice for the tap.
Well, even to make the draw, this is a long
Both.
ways out.
Yeah.
That's just the nature of the game nowadays. So much of the play goes to the middle that when
Yeah.
you do get a chance to come wide, and this particular guard didn't get drawn there. It was a hit and roll to that spot. So they really haven't thrown a draw this wide. Boy, I
They
would-
were playing this way just the end
Yeah.
before, though.
But not
Perhaps
quite
not
this wide.
this far, but yeah.
You see this maybe a handful of times all week.
Hard. Shoot.
And just not able to get to that line. Nice weight.
Yeah, weight was perfect.
Okay, control.
I don't know if the viewers at home can hear some of the noise from the crowd here, but I would dare say that the Anderson team has some fans in here, because after they tied that game, it has gotten a little bit louder in here.
Yeah. Well, that was a great shot. Sherry made a really nice in off there for 3 points.
That's the kind of shot you only make when we don't have the cameras on you.
I know. Spot's fooling them a bit.
Well, it's not the way you draw up a deuce, but
I know they called this the Christmas tree effect in the half-half. Almost looks like it's a little too far for that. You could
I
just
don't
split
love
the
that
rings
call.
and get your 2.
I like that. What do you think?
They were trying to come around on the last attempt, didn't get anywhere near the guard. If you stay out in the open going to that side, you leave a double.
Yeah.
Just split the rings,
Take
your
your 2.
deuce, take the lead.
Yeah. And counting your deuce in the even end as well is important.
So be just behind the tee. love to play that. But
Me too, but if it doesn't curl, then we're
or if
just
I'm
leaving
a
it.
little light, she can freeze it.
Yeah. Well, this is good call.
I like this.
Okay, just
It's gonna run on the center. Stay with it.
7, 8. T. Yeah. Coming down. 7.
No, I don't think
Still looks good.
so.
Still looks
7.
good. Still looks good. Easy.
Back T.
Easy. Yep.
Whoa, you're good. You're good.
Oh, perfect.
You're good.
Nice shot, right where they wanted it.
There you go.
No double there. It's hard as a sweeper to watch when it's barely moving and not want to sweep.
Okay, control.
Well, for Sherry Just, if you want to get this into that tricky spot that we've talked about, she needs to just get across the face, roll about a foot. You can see it there. Just get to that 4-foot line. And the other nice thing about it is you'll be at the tee line, so if you do start to get a rollout on Chantel Eberle's last rock, you'll be in a position where you can sweep that rock right away. That's what you're hoping for now, is a rollout only gets you a single point. First off, you have to make this hit.
Yeah, touchdown! Hard! Really hard!
They picked the brush up on this one right away. Boy, they're going to have to go to get a piece. And it slides by, and now it's a draw for 3.
Oh, the same draw.
Throwing the same thing right where she threw.
You know, I have to think Sherry Just looked at that spot and said, well, this should be straight here, so she didn't throw
I just want to throw the same
the weight
draw.
that she would normally throw at a hit, and not able to hold the line.
Yeah.
That's what happens when those spots start to play with your head.
Yeah, sometimes you overcompensate. Yeah, sweepers get to play on this one.
Right out of her hand, Chantel Eberle said this is less weight. They need to get it to the rings to pick up 3. She was behind the tee line on the last one. Just needs to bite the house anywhere.
We're good.
Sweepers have backed away just outside the hog line. Say it's good. You might like to see them cleaning that as it's coming in, but comes right down to her first stone, picks up her 3 points, and Chantel Eberle will take a 2-point lead into the 7th.
White Ice, the ice paint people, set out to develop a very specific ice paint product that would satisfy the needs of the professional ice maker in both hockey and curling. White Ice was successfully formulated and tested, and distribution began in 1988 and has since expanded their line of products and services to meet the needs of today's professional ice makers. White Ice is distributed by Eastside Paint and Wallpaper in Saskatoon, who is also a signature Benjamin Moore paint dealer. White Ice and Eastside Paint and Wallpaper, defining the game.
Dream big in full color with Apple and SaskTel on Saskatchewan's favorite networks.
And 6th and 7th ends across the sheets right now. We're going to quickly update all of the scores. Kim?
Well, you're asking me to update, but these ends aren't done, so I'm not real sure what I can do. We're down to a few rocks on every sheet here, and rocks still in play. So 6th end still happening here on sheet A. Score is still 4-2. I'll have to get back to you on that.
Skips in the hacks on sheet C as well.
Yeah, exactly the same thing. We are looking at Silvernagel having a split for 2 here if she wants to play it on
Difficult
sheet
split.
C.
It's on the outside edge.
It
She may
is.
just elect to blank.
Yeah, don't know what the call is there yet. And on sheet D, We still have a couple of rocks left to come, 3 yet, so lots of rocks to come here. So nothing more to report.
Well, as things get into crunch time here, a few more decisions to be made, and a few of these games slowing down just a little bit. Our feature game out ahead of everyone now.
And there you see the big 3 points by Chantel Eberle in the 6th end, and Chantel and team put their rock top 4, and Sherry Just throws the corner guard. Textbook.
3 points is certainly going to make the decisions a lot easier for Chantel Eberle for the next end or two.
Yeah, sure is. Looking to throw a tight center now. Guard the one in the top 4 foot.
Actually, for that matter, it'll make the decisions a little simpler for Sherry Just as well, but the execution may be a little more difficult. You'll have to play a few tougher shots now.
Yeah, that's right.
3, 4. 3 here. Just easy, we're over curling.
Oh, this is another stone. It looks like it's picked.
Yeah, it's our 3rd one already this game.
Not unless you can get it in. No, it's not. Not now. Okay. Just tap this back. Actually, go here. Tap this back. Okay, it says check. Back 12. What is that? Back 8?
It's a great split made by Robin Silvernagel to get her 2 points over there. Puts her up 5-2 over Howard.
Okay, back 12. It looked like back 8. It got really loud. Yeah, it did. Okay.
The noise from the crowd causing some distractions for the throwers even. That game you just mentioned, the Silvernagel-Howard game, that's a huge game for Ashley Howard. She's got to win out and needs help. Now, some of it she can do for herself. The 3 teams she's got left to play, including the one tonight, Robin Silvernagel, all ahead of her. So she can start to bring teams back herself if she can win her last 3 games, but she's still going to need help beyond that.
Good sweeping.
Yeah.
Wondering if the center line's starting to fudge a little on our game.
I'm not sure that got by. I'm not sure that it didn't rub and straighten out is why she got to the red one.
All right, you got it. 15.
I think I heard somebody say it came off the back of it.
Oh, it might have.
I think she was going to be dead buried if that doesn't rub. Ends up not bad. It's frozen. There was no bad result there, really.
Hey, our line is tight. Where? 2. Okay. Line's okay. Line's okay.
Looking at throwing just a guard halfway here.
Higher the better. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
This is a tighter the better.
Higher the better.
Oh.
Yeah, just for. Good.
Well, that's the first time we've heard something like that, and we've alluded to it with the crowd in here. It's a lot louder in here than what you'd normally see in a curling club. There's a very loud, vibrant, active crowd here, which is nice for the curlers, but a simple little thing like that, I heard them say, there was a debate from the sweepers. They thought they heard as tight as possible, and it was supposed to be as high as possible. So maybe it was the other way around, but they weren't clear on what they were hearing because of the background noise.
Yeah. Yeah, there's people everywhere behind the glass, in the bar, out on the bleachers, and they're all animated and excited. And cowbells.
Yeah, and there's a few cowbells.
Hard! Really hard! Okay.
Get out of there.
Change things a bit.
Okay.
It does leave that red stone hanging onto the edge of the 12-foot.
10?
Eberle looking for the hit and flop behind.
Okay, it's through the broom here. Here, you got it.
Sherry Jess will be happy for the time being that she's got everything out from behind the center guard, but there are still 3 guards causing problems for her, and Jana Tisdale can make the roll underneath.
Okay, Haley.
Still some trouble for the Just team. However, it is a nose hit.
How do you sweep? Head roll. Bum. Okay, this bum.
So a chance for Ellen Redlick now to make that roll behind cover. 3 rocks there to roll behind, Kim. Where do you want to be? Do you want to roll all the way over to your corner, or are you looking to just choke off that center guard? At this point in the end, are you're not too worried about as long as you can get cover?
Yeah, I think so. Which they're not doing.
No,
As we know, they're throwing this down the 4-foot line.
Yeah. And we haven't seen a lot of sheet B, but when we have, and we've seen some hits down this spot, I can remember one game we saw 4 shots in a row between the 2 teams, and they all rode that line and hit right on the nose.
Just like a trough, yep. Well, here comes the 3rd one. See if they can get inside.
And the scary thing for the teams, if you take an inch less ice and you get inside that path, we already saw a complete flash in this game.
Yeah.
Got over the top and just went.
Yeah.
I don't know, yeah.
Gotta love Chantel. She's so black and white, always very animated. You know what she's thinking at all times. Hearts on her sleeve.
Well, she said she didn't know what she was thinking on that one, but I understand what she's thinking is that we don't want to keep leaving the easy roll, but it's not an easy roll. You might be better off there than to try to roll away. You roll away a little bit, you actually might make the roll easier.
Yeah, rock's getting higher and higher.
That won't bother Sherry Just. She's trying to score 2 and around the center guard, so if she can roll in behind here, it still leaves her lots of room to try to score the 2nd point. But again, she's got to get inside that 4-foot line, and it's not moving.
I don't think so. It just rides the line no matter what.
There you go, 4th rock in a row right there.
Still gets it. All right. Okay. In this case, nose isn't horrible, but let's try and get underneath.
Just bring down my weight?
Yeah, about half a second. Get it to 10.
Okay.
Looking at throwing it a hair quieter.
And she did tighten the broom. Besides, look at where that broom is located.
I do see that. At some point, you think it's got to move, doesn't it? Guess we'll find out.
Clean. Yep. Yes. Yep. Well, clean. Yeah.
Definitely a little bit more inside than it was, according to the 4-foot line.
Yeah. Quick. Oh, no roll.
Whoa, 6.
Nice roll.
Took that little bit less weight and tightened up the broom as well, and it's enough to roll out past the guards. Well, it looks like it's maybe got the edge under cover.
Yeah. Half a rock. Sherry's going to ignore all those and just plain come around. If you start outside this 4-foot line, it will cross over and curl in.
We gotta go on that, hey?
Starting to curl now, but she's still got a lot of room by the guard. And they're concerned that it might be behind the tee.
And it is.
And I don't know, when you know that it's behind the tee, that's not the spot to put it.
I mean, we've said it so many times, yet the sweepers need to make a decision. You're better off back 4, even 8 foot, as opposed to right there. And it's really hard when you're praying for it to stop, but you got to make a decision early and just take it back.
Room for at least 2 is what we always say.
Breeze on the face, but little light is okay. So I need less than I threw coming this way, or probably the same?
I think the same.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think it's. I think it's pretty fast to the corner there. Yeah. Because it ran that good line, but the second it starts to move, it's going to come off a little. Okay.
There you go.
That all comes down to the path to throwing. She's on a similar piece of ice, but she was going inside out on the draw last in, coming outside in on this one.
7. No, you can't.
Yelling 6-7, but it's got a curl.
Haley, we gotta go here. No bump. We gotta go.
Now they got to go wait.
No.
I think that came down on them, according to what they were
corner.
calling.
I was thinking back.
Certainly
I think
works.
it's
Good
the red
shot.
stone that's shot, but it is close.
Here. It'll still move with back 8, so.
Chantel had a lot of room by the guard there, so might be room enough for Sherry Just to get to the inside of that.
Yeah.
Wouldn't take much of a nudge either to be sitting
Okay,
2.
back 8, just unlock them, but
Okay, 20. 20. 20, 25. Okay.
There's a look at the crowd on the warm side of the glass, sitting in behind Sherry Just. I don't know if there's any cowbells in there.
Yeah, it might be a little quieter in there.
Are you suggesting the more animated fans make their way out here?
The ones that like to talk and yell and cheer, which is good. Ooh. There you
A
go.
lot tighter by the guard on this one.
Just
Gets
like
the
you
little
called it.
chip. Shooter rolls over, and now that one's dead buried. And she's got access to the redstone, perhaps, to pass it by for 3 if Chantel Eberle doesn't make something on this one.
Get some good action out of it. So I can afford a little bit less.
If Chantel Eberle can make the corner freeze in the yellow, though,
Yeah, see?
It's going to be
not sure
pretty
how you
hard
get your 2,
to score a second point. Exactly. So Chantel looking at just repeating what she just did.
But light is okay. Okay?
Are they shot?
Well, yeah, they were shot before too.
Yeah.
But now the angle of the red goes onto their yellow. So as long as we can keep the guard or the angle, we're okay.
Yeah. It's interesting that Chantel was saying that they were shot before.
Yeah, I didn't think they were.
I thought it was the red, but
our overhead cameras can be deceiving though too.
It can be. Saying 5-6, but they've backed right away from this one. They certainly can't afford to be heavy here.
Okay, this is fine. 5. Oh, no.
Looks like it's got a long way to curve again. Although there it goes.
Corner on this.
Yep.
Sorry.
Well, are we going to see a long run-in of a yellow guard? I don't see any way she could hurt herself, but it might be for 3. You run that one in from the angle, you...
Like, we could bump one of these in with, like...
I don't think you throw it to hammer it. You throw it to just get it there.
With, like, hack weight.
Okay. Do you know who's throwing? Do you know who's throwing?
I'm thinking this one might be better. Okay.
I agree. I don't
know.
the sharper angle, it's really hard to hurt yourself.
Yeah, I think just throw
And if you could ever stick it,
here.
you don't have to move very far.
Yeah.
Move that red stone about a foot, and it's for 3.
Yeah, it sure is. We talked about this, I don't think, on this telecast, but one earlier too. Sherry is used to playing a lot of mixed doubles, and they throw a lot of these shots there.
She's already had people talking here about... I didn't see the shot. I'm only repeating what I was told about a 20-foot run back for 3.
Yeah.
That changed a game.
TSN turning point.
Early on. Who? What?
The CurlSask turning point.
Who were they?
Game turning point.
Sherry Just with her final stone here in end number 7, trailing by 2, playing the angle raise. Could be for as many as 3. She's playing with just hack weight.
Yeah.
They're going to have to go to hold the line on this one. Going to over curl. Can she get in off?
Good try.
Not able to make that, but it is a single point for Sherry Just, and she'll close to within 5-4. It'll be Chantel Eberle with last rock when we come back.
Good try.
Awesome.
Snappy back. Could be better.
Want to try it and have some fun? Hurry hard to your local curling center or visit CurlSask.ca to find a curling center near you.
The internet's constantly expanding, but you can keep up with unlimited internet. So whatever you like to watch, stream, upload, and share, do it all with unlimited internet from SaskTel.
Well, our feature game is played at such a brisk pace. We're at a little bit ahead of the other three now. Everybody on to skip stones here in the 7th end. We'll try to update you on all of the scores so far. Kim?
A big 3 points there on sheet A by Kristen Streifel. Kristen made a really nice big weight double and on a frozen rock to get those 3 points. So right now, scores 5-4. Streifel over Barker.
Big game for those two teams with Streifel sitting at 3-2. Penny Barker at 2-3. Needs to bring somebody back to keep her in the playoff hunt.
Yeah, sure does. Over on sheet C, Howard Silvernagel. Robin Silvernagel made a great split on a rock just outside the rings over on a corner. Gets her 2 points, so the score there, 5-2, Silvernagel over Howard. Over here, we see that Mitchell got a single point. She attempted a very difficult draw for her second point. It was just a little bit heavy, so settles for a single. Make that score 5-4, Mitchell over Anderson.
Jessica Mitchell there, the young team. So far no wins, but trying to play spoiler, and nice experience for them. But they had to start the event with a sub. You can see there in the picture, Danielle Waterfield back now. She had university commitments, but nice for her to get a chance to play in a couple of games in this event, just so that she gets the experience.
You bet. In this atmosphere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta catch the curl.
Against these teams and on this ice, it's a great experience.
Oh, don't switch back. Okay. Line's good. Okay, line's good, line's good. Just here. Whoa.
So we got rocks in play here.
Okay, great shot, that's good.
Center guard, corner guard, and now the come around.
Just stop it like this. Okay.
Buried at the top of the button.
Looking at just tapping it a little bit, just behind the tee line.
2 feet more. No, we're still 8-9. It's slowing down now.
A lot of room by the guard. Wanted to get close to the face of this and tap it back a little bit. She's going to get a little bit of a tap, but shooter will roll off to the edge of the 4-foot.
Half around again? I don't mind going around. There's like that. I don't mind going here. Yeah, I like it. Okay, about 15? Yeah.
I like this call. You're one down, but more than that, I like the fact that everybody was on the same page. Everybody's thinking the same thing. That's
exactly what you want to see. I agree with you.
There's enough problems out there with indecision because of the spots on the ice, so at least all the 4 players have the same idea right now.
Yeah, thinking the same.
Got a curl! Line's good! Got a curl! Line's good! Line's good! Over there. Okay, whoa. Okay. Okay.
Oh, great spot.
Actually, that works out really well. Yeah. So not much to decide here for Chantel. Peel away.
Straight peel.
Well, the decisions now for both teams are going to be easy until somebody makes a bit of a mistake.
Yep.
You're going to see the Eberle team try to peel guards for a little while. And Sherry just looked to put them back.
I didn't get it. I started it when I was going to stop it. Not a girl.
Like halfway tight?
Yeah.
So they do have to know exactly where they're throwing this guard, whether it be a 1, 2, or 3 as far as the ice. And you heard them saying they're throwing about a 2.5 here, so that's what they're iced for.
3. Okay, line's a little
Keep
tight.
it out.
I think it's on its own.
Okay, line's good.
3. Oh, I think we're going to overcurl.
Just here.
We're past that.
Past that here.
Just fighting.
Well, we've seen this spot before too. Gets quicker and quicker with each rock that's thrown.
Yeah, they didn't want to be in this tight for sure.
No.
A chance for Chantel Eberle to try to move a couple of those Yellowstones.
Yeah.
I feel like you play nose.
Okay.
And this gets here, and you stay about here. You hit it that way, it's totally doing that.
Okay.
So just off nose.
Okay.
Let's make sure we make contact with this rock.
Okay.
I'll give you the same turn.
Okay. Yeah, just get them off that forefoot.
Same weight.
Okay. Feel. All right. Wrist up.
So Janet Tisdale looking to make a couple of stones go away here.
Yes!
And they've called a sweep on right out of her hand. She might have been a little bit inside. She's got to hit this fairly thick to make contact with the second one. She's going to just
Nicely done.
get enough to kill two of those yellows. Her shooter stays at the top of the 12-foot. The one yellow at the top of the button, they knew that one was going to stay there. They just didn't want to roll it towards their own. Great job by the brushers to hold the line on that one. She was clearly inside.
Do you corner freeze that red? I think if we're going hard for the four.
I just don't want to put up a guard and then they just have this.
Yeah, they've got a couple options now.
What if you corner freeze?
With the guard,
Can we
we'll
corner
have both
freeze
ways.
it?
This is
Yeah.
your first.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
Tough situation now for the Just team. That was such a good throw, and of course
Okay.
made possible by the fact that the last draw was a little deep. But now you're playing some very tough shots,
Yeah.
some very precise shots, and the risk is you could give up 2 or 3 here. And
Yeah, and all in the rings.
Hard! Right to it! Right to it! Hard! Hard, girls! Right to it! Right to
well,
it!
this
Go,
is a
go,
plan
go,
B.
go,
They
go,
were
go,
actually
go,
playing
go,
to
go.
corner freeze the red, I believe.
It's not too bad though.
We're like really short on time. Hey?
To get them both, you're probably rolling out, which is fine. Throw 9.
Okay.
9.
Right up.
We heard the Just team say they were really short on time. They're 9 minutes 43 seconds left.
I have to admit I never looked up, but I was kind of surprised when I heard that comment because it's been a fairly open game.
Yeah, and our feature game is ahead of the other sheets.
Yeah.
The Eberle team at 11 minutes, so it's not like there's a huge difference between the two teams.
Yeah, we're ahead of all the other sheets and we have less time than all the other sheets out here.
Sorry.
Not able to get the second stone out of play. It stays for second shot at the edge of the 12-foot. Well, if Sherry Just is thinking just in terms of the force,
Over here. Control.
she's got a chance to sit 2 right now, and that would be a chance for the force. Still a few rocks to come. Chantel Eberle lots of time to try to set up the deuce yet, and a rock at the top of the 12-foot means 3's not out of play.
Here's that 4-foot line.
Okay.
She's going to make the hit, but the shooter will roll out of play. That'll give Chantel Eberle a chance to make a play on that stone at the edge of the 12-foot, which is now shot rock.
Yeah, looking at hitting and sticking for sitting 2.
Right up.
Hair soft. Lead. Yeah.
Shailene Kitts with the hit attempt here.
You gotta go. You gotta
Talked
go.
about how
Go, 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 go,
treacherous
go.
the 4-foot line is. We actually haven't seen a lot of throws out here. We've seen a
No.
few. Makes a nice hit, but rolls to the back of the 8-foot in behind that stone the 12-foot did. And if Sherry Just wants to get the force or perhaps even a steal here, that's a rock she could freeze to.
And I know what you're saying here, Sean, for sure. In just a little bit of a... to give the curlers the benefit of the doubt here. When the ice is this tricky, sometimes you're not real confident in making that, is what I'm trying to say. But
this is
I know
a
your
long
call.
double attempt, too, and if you don't make it, you're still giving up 2.
Yeah.
Just a little bit more. Well, as long as we end up with 8, we're okay. I don't think we're gonna end up with like 7.5. Okay, normal. Okay.
It's the front end, I think I heard talking about the clock, and I wonder if that's playing into this, too.
We have the draw too, yeah.
Hit a couple of rocks here and
Yeah,
get
no,
through the end with 8 minutes in mind.
Yeah, you're right. Sherry just said, though, we could play the draw, and the rest of the team was on board. Said, nope, like this.
Big weight from Sherry Just on the double attempt. Needs to hit this just off the nose to catch that stone at the back of the 8-foot. And goes just by it. Does leave her shooter there at the top 12.
What do you think?
Freeze will still be there on her last one,
Probably
so
gonna wrap. What do you want to do?
Chantel probably has to do something with that rock.
She's gonna wrap. We could
I think
hit
you're going
and
to see
roll.
that.
Close.
But if we,
I want to say like this. I don't know. This yellow one's in though.
we gotta make sure we score, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to call timeout?
Yeah, I think so.
Hey, timeout.
Timeout, please.
Chantel Eberle electing to call her
have to
first
have a
timeout.
shot.
She does still have
Yeah.
10 minutes, 6 seconds on her clock. This is not about time so much as
If we do the
taking the
hit
time to
roll,
decide how they want to play this shot.
possibly.
Yeah,
hit and roll.
we're going
I-
to see
we'll
Shane
have
coming
ready
out.
to
Shane
ask
Kitts,
for.
coach of the Eberle team.
What do you?
What are you thinking?
Well,
Do you like this?
kinda, cause it's just that if we just off nose it, we're probably not in, right? But that probably gives us the best chance to score. Like if we wrap, we're gonna get 2 or 3.
even if you roll open here, that's fine.
Do you like that? Hit and roll on the top. Hit and roll on the top.
I think so. I feel like we don't. She comes on top of it, right? Yeah.
Well, we can wrap, but she has the ability to make that, right? Yeah. Yeah. I feel good about coming around, but if she makes it, I mean, her shooter might be out of the rings, right?
Yeah.
Could do that. Think she's going to come and freeze then? She will, because once we're laying 2 on them, that's... Yeah. Going, well, probably the hit. Right? Because even if we peeled it out, she hits that. We're still playing.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you're just hitting nose on that one.
Right. So we just make sure we play that side, right?
Yeah.
Not too cute. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I think this is a little bit scoreboard dictated as well. I mean, it would sure be tempting to come around and try to get your 2 or 3, but the fact that you're one up with Chantel's logic is let's just peel this away. They hit the back one and peel out this end, I guess.
Yeah. Really, I think it's all about, like as you said, scoreboard. If you needed 3, you'd try to come around, but
all day.
You make the hit and roll here, you're pretty good to get 2.
She's a
You
little
don't
worried.
even have to bury the roll, but you have to get it out of the way of that back one.
Yeah.
And the main key to the roll is you've got to roll a couple of feet probably just to get into the rings. I heard her say if we're just off the nose, we probably don't get in.
Right.
Chantel Eberle with her first stone here in the 8th end, already with a 1-point lead. She does have shot rock, but it is at the back of the house. Looking for the hit. And she'd love to roll into the rings, but this is going to roll too far.
Chantel a little frustrated with that.
And Sherry Just not wanting to let them have the chance for the easy blank. going to play the freeze here. And she's already in the hacks because they are trying to watch their clock.
Actually, the rock's already at the hog line. They obviously had discussed what they were going to play there.
Make sure it's locked on.
I see you shaking your head, Kim, and I'm thinking the same thing. Like, if
you can't tattle on me, though.
Well, I wanted her to play the freeze on the last one. If you're good with playing the freeze, why didn't you play it when you had some cover?
I know.
Not able to get quite all the way to that stone, but I think she's deep enough that you can't really pass it by the red and hold the shooter. I don't see a shot for two.
We still get one. Okay. That was my first stop. What do you want us to go? Forward weight? Yeah. Thumb. Try to play soft.
She's going to try it.
No, that's too hard, Shay.
I don't think you can hurt yourself trying it.
Yeah, she really does.
Okay. Makes no sense. Okay. Scoring is good. Okay. If I clip the 6,
I don't think it looked as good when she got to the hog line.
As soon as she turned around, actually, she was only at the top of the house.
Well, you can see it from that angle.
Yeah.
It was those two rocks are dead lined up. There's only about a foot in between them. But if you're going to pass it by the red, I don't think you're holding the shooter.
Yeah, that's right. You know, she can blank the end this way.
She could play for the blank.
Yeah. You don't quite pick the back when you get your 1 point.
If we're up by 2, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's even if you pick up 3, we're still only down 1 coming home. Yeah,
I don't know that I'd be talking about giving up 3, but
if I clip them all, that's fine. Okay.
I think she's explaining to the friend, and that's her justification. She doesn't mind getting the 1. I don't think she's playing for the straight blank here. I think she's playing to pick it.
Oh, no.
You could double these and roll out, get the blank.
Right.
No, Jana. You're good. Clean it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Makes the hit, rolls it out of the rings, and will pick up her single point. Chantel Eberle will take a 2-point lead into the 9th.
White Ice, the ice paint people, set out to develop a very specific ice paint product that would satisfy the needs of the professional ice maker in both hockey and curling. White Ice was successfully formulated and tested, and distribution began in 1988 and has since expanded their line of products and services to meet the needs of today's professional ice makers. White Ice is distributed by Eastside Paint and Wallpaper in Saskatoon, who is also a signature Benjamin Moore paint dealer. White Ice and Eastside Paint and Wallpaper, defining the game.
The internet's constantly expanding, but you can keep up with unlimited internet. So whatever you like to watch, stream, upload, and share, do it all with unlimited internet from SaskTel.
And one more time, we'll try to quickly update these scores. Again, we're a little bit ahead, so on skip rocks here on a couple of these sheets. Kim, what have you got?
Well, over on sheet A, we see that Barker faced 2 Streifel stones sitting side by side just behind the tee line, but she racked on a tight guard, gave up 2 points. Score is now 7-4 for Streifel.
And I'm ready to predict we won't have a blank in the 8th.
Over here on sheet C, looking at 3 silver nagel stones, Howard's draw to the 8-foot stopped short in front of the 12 for a steal of 3 points and handshakes. So, silver nagel 8-2, final score.
That will eliminate Ashley Howard.
Yeah. Over here on sheet D, Anderson made a nice open nose hit to count 2 points. Score 6-5 for Anderson.
So Jessica Mitchell there still trying to play spoiler.
Back to our feature game, you see that Chantel Eberle through top 4. You see the corner guard, which is on the 4-foot line.
Yeah, maybe not as far off to the corner as they would have liked.
Exactly.
Yep. Okay. Oh. Atta girl. Nice shot. If you end up tapping it, that's okay.
Now we've seen Sherry Just a couple of times today in situations like this, come around her corner guard, and that's the problem when you get that corner guard not as far off the center line as you would have liked. She can't even get around that guard unless she comes from the wide side right now. So going to have to make a play towards those stones in the middle.
Yeah.
Hannah Anderson with the intern draw here.
Got a curl, Laura. Got a curl. All the way up. Curl. Hard, all the way up. As far as you can.
Had a lot of room by the guard, but this stone is going
Yeah, good
almost
sweep.
sideways. Good
Yeah.
job by the brushers to bring it in, and it's a pretty good line. They would have liked to have a little bit less space between those rocks.
Coming here is not bad. All right.
Chantel will look for one more stone in front of those, and Sherry Just is going to have a decision to make. I almost think she's going to have to try to open up that middle a little bit. That corner guard not getting far enough over. It's already closed off one side of the sheet.
Yep. Oh, yep. Just let it go. Like literally just pick your hand up. Well, it just early curl because you just let it go. Yeah.
Not the result they were looking for, but it does end up with a double guard on that center situation.
Okay, Sherry.
Sherry Just, as much as she doesn't really want to be peeling guards,
Yeah, I think
she needs to
weigh in
open
there.
up some space in the middle. Ellen Redlick, big weight here. I think they were looking to get this just off the nose. This is going to be awfully thin and drives it completely over the top of the second red stone.
Yeah, just getting the one. You see Chantel calling right away to replace it.
That weight was fine.
Yeah, pretty similar.
Straight up.
The Just team, after they realized they were getting a little tight for time, have managed to play. They were just over 8 minutes when Sherry Just threw her last stone, or got into the hacks to throw her last stone last end, and they're now still at 7:08.
Yeah, they picked it up.
Chantel Eberle had almost a 2-minute lead at that point in time, and now they're at 7 minutes 28 seconds. So they've closed that gap a little bit. Shouldn't be any time issues here really for either team, but it depends how messy these last two ends get. Put a few rocks in play and suddenly have to use some of that thinking time.
Yeah, I still agree though that it's certainly not panic time at all. They've got 7 minutes. They're halfway through 9. They've got 2 timeouts. Well, I guess Eberle only has 1, but certainly fine. Oh, there's our super fan, Hans. Love his beard work.
Looks like he's staying at the same hotel as us. I don't know if the BBN is paying extra for that beard.
That's right. Still leaves both Eberle shots in the rings, but certainly moves things around.
Well, and moves the shot stone behind the tee line. It's not the worst result they could have had.
No.
They got rid of everything in front of the tee line that was behind cover. Shaylin Kitts in a hack, not wanting to compete with the noise as there was a last stone being thrown on the next sheet. Takes us some moment longer to get ready, and now her draw on the way. Definitely want to be in front of the tee line on this one. The brushers haven't laid a brush to it at all.
No. Sorry.
And it will come to rest just at the back of the button.
That's all right, Jay.
Let's have the pin covered. So they'll have to move it to be shot. But does give a bit of an opportunity to the Just team. Megan Anderson in the hacks now.
Yeah, with those rocks the way they are, though, you know, Just team makes this. You'll see Chantel put it right on top and say, okay, try to get more than one. It's going to be a pretty small scoring surface.
8. Gotta curl lots. Yeah, 7, 8. Nothing. 8.
However, if this doesn't get over there, that was really a moot
right
point.
Right now, it's not even by the outside guard. Boy,
yeah.
They should probably have been playing for a tick on that. They just decided that was a long ways out and heavy, and they kind of gave up on that stone, and the redirect might have been the way to go on that.
It was looking pretty close there for a while. So Chantel looking to get on top first now.
A little bit past his outside line, so probably you take inside.
Shaylin Kitts just a little bit heavy on her first draw. She came and sit right on top of that stone with this one. The Eberle team would be in a really good spot here. Sherry Just might have a hard time scoring. Now this one's starting to curl hard. Is that another? Dare I say it? Did we get another stone picked?
I don't know, but it sure's curling.
And it came down.
Yeah,
I think we had, I know you guys were shot. Okay.
If that keeps coming into the rings, it would have been well over buried at the angle it was coming in. And
okay, just into it.
it does provide some cover for that shot. Stone makes this shot a lot more difficult than it would have been on the last one. And Megan Anderson's first stone, they couldn't. Well, they're not having any shortage of curl on this one. This one really starting to go.
Yeah.
Might have taken a little bit of weight off it. The brushes are going to have to go to get by the stone that was just thrown.
Bounce off, go, go, go.
And she took a little too much weight off of it. Nudges that red stone and really has completely blocked the path to that button area now.
Yeah, quite congested.
Yeah. She's playing the 6 in. I think we go up there.
I think they got to throw the guard.
Even if she makes that in, she won't have another shot in. That'll be it.
Yeah.
Yeah, past the other red, but yeah, I'll.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Sounds like the rest of the team is in agreement as well.
She'll have that push from the outside, but if she makes it, she won't have another shot in.
Okay.
So that would be the max.
Like a 2?
For Chantel Eberle, you heard her saying that would be the max. As she threw her last stone in the last end, she said, even if we gave up 3, get her one here, even if we give up 3, we're 1 down with coming home. Yeah. So she's content to give up 2. She wouldn't be terribly upset with 3, but as she said, she's not going to have a way to get a 3rd one in.
Yeah.
And the angle push that she's talking about, it's not an easy one just to get the 2nd one.
It's not a gimme.
3, 4. Don't set that up. Oh, you're great.
Yeah, you hate to line these up.
Whoa!
I think you're pretty good.
She's fine.
Nice throw. Once we do this, let's do this and it'll open it up. Right here. Okay.
Playing on the one Chantel just threw right now.
Yeah, I expected that she would.
Yeah, she's always got that other one with her last
push will be with her. Well, exactly. It'll be there with the last one.
Yeah.
The thing about this one is if you hit it just right, you could actually kill both of those reds.
Sit 2 behind cover.
Okay, so it's red into yellow into red.
Well, actually not behind cover because her
one of them would be behind cover.
Yeah.
And you're throwing how much weight?
Lots.
Again, the most you'll, as Chantel looks at this, the back yellow one would be open though. So again, the most she'll give up is 2.
But you could give yourself a much easier shot for your last one if you kill both reds here.
That's true.
Nothing out of the brushers on this one. Gonna clip the red. Catches another red, and boy, by spinning that underneath, I don't even know if she's got a run in there.
Have that 6 anymore. She does have that one. So we throw a guard on that.
I think
You
that's...
see it, Chantel said
Yeah.
she doesn't have it, so you guard the wide
Yeah.
one, and what does she got?
She got nothing on a 6.
She'll have a run on the one that Chantel throws onto the yellow onto the rings, I guess.
That's a lot of angles,
That way,
too.
Yeah.
we're getting all the way out
Just
there.
throwing that out there.
We do actually got to get to that side, right? We got to get to the outside of the 4. Yep.
So just looking at guarding that outside yellow that's right on the Scotties, because that's really all she has.
I feel like all she has is that yellow. The corner one. So we just guard that guard. Yep. We do have to get slightly to the outside of it, right? Because that's what she needs.
Okay.
I think this yellow's overlapped the red slightly. I don't think she's got anything on it.
Okay.
Give me a little less, Shay. We got to get to the outside. Even less. Yeah.
Chantel Eberle with her final stone here in end number 9, trying to guard what looks like probably the only shot Sherry just has, an angle raise takeout.
Curling hard. Whoa. Yeah. Whoa. No. Mine's really nice. Right here. Over. We're not there, though. Yeah. Yep. Good.
Just has to take away the outside edge of that
Yeah,
stone.
just like she did.
Good throw. Just to give me time to think.
Sherry taking a...
So there's this. But I don't know if you...
Yeah, she did.
I don't know if you can get the 5 without hitting our 5.
Well, you're hitting a half, so I think you'd have to hit it pretty
I'm
thin
not
to redirect it
But I
off.
don't
sure
know
that
if
she
we
can
because of this.
see it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
This is too tight, I think.
They have called the
I think this is our
timeout.
only option, really.
Jim Wilson down at the other end.
Pretty tight because it's
Well, yeah,
Taking a while to get there. They're going
Get
to
that
continue to
get
survey
out.
their options.
like nosing this.
Sherry looking at the run on the high guard on the other side of center. I'm not sure you can get it by the red with enough to
I don't
by
think you
enough
can.
to
I don't want to
stick.
pick this out. Like, we can't afford to lose rail.
There's the one we're talking about on the left as you look at it.
That's better
She's
than
trying to
either.
line that up.
I don't know if
You
that's
might be
good
able to
either.
make contact with the one on the button, but it doesn't
we get
look like
3
you do
coming
it
home?
thick enough to stay.
Yeah.
5 rock. Throw it away.
You'd be better off, like, coming in
There's an
here.
interesting call.
I did hear that.
Red.
Well, they said, you know what, we gave up a steal of 1, we're 3 down. We've seen 5 rock rule. You've seen people get 3.
Yeah, and the concern is with anything they try to run in here, they could
Don't-
actually kill their own and give
Exactly.
up 2.
And then 4 down is a different ballgame compared to 3, I'll say. What do you think Jim has to say?
The only thing we have is the 1.
I think that's too tight to the 7 there, because then you're just going to push that red into the yellow.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
Or we have the
I
red.
think there's a...
This is probably the only shot, but then you might risk giving up 3.
Yep.
But I think it's kind of do or die at this point. So I think
I
this.
didn't know if there was anything off the outside off of this.
Off that-
redirect.
I think this one's in the way.
Yeah. No, you can see.
You can?
Off the yellow.
Got coaches on, or mics on the
This
4
one?
players, but not on the
Yeah.
coach. So when the 4 players move away from the coach, we can't hear the rest of the sentence.
This yellow?
Yeah.
I think you can see it all.
Oh, you're saying push it into the red? And then off?
Oh, like
Oh,
just
he's
here?
saying just feather the yellow.
I think it's just going into here, though.
There's like a sliver. That's going...
I think it's just going into the
Well,
yellow.
when he says redirect, doesn't he mean just skinny it?
Yeah.
He's
Like
meaning
redirect?
hit this
Timeout is
floor
over,
into
so
that
Jim is
back
making his
one.
way back to the other end, and they're trying to figure out what he
That's
what he was
meant.
referring to. And
You don't think he meant just...
I think what you can see, it's just
yeah, I
going
think
sideways.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think the redirect was meaning very skinny.
Let's do
It's
this.
tough. You probably can't hurt yourself. I don't think there's any way you could hit that thin enough to just come straight back and kill your own, but awfully hard to hit it thin enough to play the yellow or get by the other yellow as well.
Okay, give me.
Because you're hitting it, like, on this side.
Yeah.
Okay?
So they're going to play the double raise on the angle into that situation, the 4-foot. It is there for 2 if she can hit it just perfect. It's also there to give up 3. Maybe you hit it just wrong.
Yeah.
And I say 3 because I think you'd kill one of the reds even if you took both yellows out.
Yeah. Sounding
big
close.
weight.
Oh, Sherry can throw the big weight. Oh.
Like that.
Just a little too far on the outside, and boy, almost got the other shot they were looking at.
Yeah.
Still going to be a steal of 1 though for Chantel Eberle. She'll take a 7-4 lead into the 10th.
As Canada's grain industry leader, Viterra and its employees are connected to their communities across Western Canada. Through its community investment program, Viterra supports a wide variety of causes and initiatives, including those focused on sports and recreation that encourage teamwork, integrity, and high performance. These same values guide Viterra's employees when providing farm customers with trusted advice and quality service. Viterra is a proud sponsor of the Scotties Tournament of Hearts.
Dream big in full color with Apple and SaskTel on Saskatchewan's favorite networks.
Well, it's crunch time here in Draw 7, and every time we look at the scoreboard, we then have to look at the standings board as well. Let's quickly keep you up to date on all of these scores. Kim?
Yeah, it's a big scoring game over here on Sheet A. You see on the scoreboard there's a big 3 points by the Barker team. Barker haired a guard to make a race takeout onto the strifle shot to count 3 points last end, so make that score 7-7.
Just 2 stones left to come in the 8th end, or pardon me,
Ninth.
the 9th end there.
Yeah. Back over on Sheet C there. This is a handshake. The final score was 8-2. Silvernagel over Howard.
Robin Silvernagel moves into a tie for first place with that win.
Yeah, and over here you see there was a steal or 2 by the Anderson team. Mitchell had to go out wide to hit an open Anderson shot for 2 points. However, she's just a bit tight and touched the Anderson corner guard and bumped it into the house for a steal or 2. So,
and with her final stone
bit
in
of a
9,
bad
had
break.
a chance for an in-off double that I think would have scored her 2. I think she just got the single. We'll have to wait for that score to go up. No, it looks like it might have been a steal.
yeah, looks like Anderson team stole 1. Makes that score 9-5.
In our feature game with a 3-point lead, Chantel Eberle throws the first stone to the top of the 8-foot. You see the corner guard thrown by the Just team, and now Haley Jameson will just throw this one through.
Good throw.
Well, we've seen 3 and 10 before, that's for sure, especially with
We
this
have.
5 rock rule.
Good throw.
We've seen it this week.
We sure have.
You do like this? Yeah, but I also like outside dance. Okay, because that's all like.
Sherry Just and her team hoping that we see it again here. They've got one corner guard up already. Now Hannah Anderson looking to throw a second corner on the other side.
Guys, it's not curling. It's not curling. It's just sliding. It's not curling. It's not curling.
And you know, if you take the free guard zone out of the equation, it used to be that recipe to get 3. If you wanted 3, you needed 2 corner guards. Well, here's your 2 corner guards. They can't peel them yet.
Yeah.
You have to make all your shots to have a chance after this, and hope that you don't leave any kind of a double, but you're saying there's a chance.
Yeah.
Not able to peel yet, so Chantel Eberle will call for another throw through. Jana Tisdale.
So, now the decision, which corner guard you go around.
Should I wait?
I like
This is the
call.
one that we've seen, what?
You
I
go
think
around
every
the
end.
wider one first, I think. And You could be as far, if this is just hanging on by a sliver at the back of the 12-foot, this is a good shot. You just need to make sure it's buried.
Well, like I said, we've seen this plenty of times this game, so.
Brushes are on it early, and 2-3 is not what you want to hear.
Hard girls, gotta be in, gotta be in, gotta be in. Go, 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 go. Hard girls, go. Okay, that's fine.
Good sweeping, but not quite there.
No, you don't want to leave any doubles, and there's a double opportunity there.
Feel. Right up, straight up here. You got her.
Chantel not going to play it, just going to play the straight peel.
Yeah.
I don't think there'd be too much risk with the double. I'm a little surprised by this call.
All right.
Clean. Clean. Yeah. Yep, on that one. Whoa, clean. Yeah, you're good. You're good. Well, a little thicker maybe. Good. Nice throw.
Makes the hit, does roll the shooter out of play.
Okay, like 6 feet more.
Yeah,
I assume they're playing the tap now?
I think they're actually playing the
Oh, they're going the other way,
corner.
sorry. Yeah.
I would have preferred your call. This is the thing now. You play around this corner guard, and because of the angle on the other two, you give Chantel a chance to play the double on the corners. She can play she can hit the higher one first, which is the one she's going to have to peel if you get by. Now, you didn't get by.
Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going.
Good job by the Brushers to make sure that gets into the rings.
Yeah.
No double there. That's kind of the key.
They were caught in between there. They were
Might
saying
have
9-10. They didn't want to sweep, but they had a sweep to get by. So I think Ticken was the better shot there.
Carry on though with what I was saying. You know, you come around that side, she's going to peel that guard to open up the shot that you just put in there. Well, she can peel that guard and try to bring the shooter over and get the second one. Well, that's a double. So make her to come around the guard where she's not going to have a double.
Right.
A double would kill you right now.
Yeah.
Okay, you're good. Atta girl. Nice throw.
Nice job by Shaylin Kitts to not only get the hit, but roll the shooter out of play. You don't want any extra rocks in play now.
No, for sure.
And I swear I didn't say it that loud, but it looks like Sherry just might have heard me. She's coming around the other guard now.
Way. Yeah, no, she's far enough away. I think you're safe.
You just can't leave a chance for the double.
Right.
You need this one. You're down to 4 stones left. You got to make this one good.
Got to get by. Looks like they are.
Great job by the Brushers to get it by now. Can they get it deep enough to bury?
Okay, great still, girls.
But that almost looked like it straightened up
Yeah, it
after
sure
the guard.
didn't finish hard, did it?
No,
So just
finished
playing
hard
the
enough
straight
that
peel.
Chantel's going to play the straight peel, and then you'll see Sherry just go around the other side. Expect that Chantel Eberle will make a play on the open one, and then you may see a bit of a decision time from the Just team. They may call their timeout. You need to get another one around the corner. The fact that Chantel Eberle might be sitting that you'll have to deal with at some point in time could be an issue. Well, that's going to simplify that.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah.
You're thinking too many shots ahead.
Chantel probably didn't want to kill that stone.
No, not now.
That's the one that could have forced Sherry Just to have to make a hit on her first.
Mm-hmm.
Megan
Theoretically.
Theoretically, depending
you
on...
have your 3 now.
Yeah, yeah.
It's certainly very, very doable. Ooh, 10's not good.
If it's just 10, it's okay. If it's 10.5, it's no
yeah,
good.
11's not good
11's
either.
even worse.
Yeah.
And that one will slide through the back. And now if Chantel Eberle can make this stone go away,
So no, I'm throwing 9.
there won't be enough stones left for Sherry Just to push this game into an extra end.
was like 10? No, like 9.
Just one more example of how quick things can change. We were just talking about how, in theory at least, Sherry Just has her opportunity for 3, and you slide one rock through the back, and one rock later, the game's over. Chantel Eberle, just as you heard, needs to make this stone go away, doesn't need to stay. Cleaning this stone right out of her hand. As long as she's got a piece, they're never going to leave this one. She'll make the hit. Sherry Just runs out of rocks. They will take the gloves off, concede the victory. Chantel Eberle picks up the big win here in draw number 7. Still 2 games left to be decided. Kim Hodson has made her way down to ice level, and we're going to see if we can get a word with Chantel, and then we'll turn our attention to the remaining 2 games. Big win for the Eberle team. They were already at 3 losses. That moves them to 3-3. For the Sherry Just foursome, they now move to 4-3. They've lost 3 in a row after a good start to this event, but they still have 1 game left to play tomorrow. I see Chantel is with Kim now. Kim, take it away.
Hey, Chantel. Nice win on your 1-game day.
I know, hey, it was a nice little sleep-in, luncheon, even though it actually felt kind of like a long day because you just did nothing for the afternoon, right? But it was kind of nice to come out here and play well.
Yeah, and you did a lot more action in the second half of that game. Yeah, and 3 up, though, in the 5-rock rule still makes 10 interesting.
It does, yeah, for sure. You still have to concentrate and make all 8 shots, right? Execute every one. So I think we did pretty good.
Yeah, you did pretty good. You got the win. Good job. It's a log jam now, actually. I'm not sure if you've had a chance to see how things are sort of scoping out here with all the teams and the way they're finishing, but it's going to be an interesting day tomorrow. So, and you're right in there.
Right in there. Yeah, we got to come out tomorrow with 2 wins would be ideal.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
So we're going to quickly turn our attention right next door to that game on sheet A. It is the Penny Barker foursome. After a steal in 9, 1 up coming home over Kristen Streifel, and this is a big game for both teams. Streifel comes in with a record of 3-2, Barker at 2-3. Coming into the draw, there were 5 teams, no worse than 2 losses. Sherry Just has come back to the field with a 3rd loss, and if Penny Barker can pick up the win here, that would bring Kristen Streifel back, and all of the 3 lost teams would still be alive. Don't have mics on these players, so I didn't see the call, didn't hear what they were saying, but I think they felt maybe the port was a little tight, so that was an attempt at the straight tap back. Made a nice tap back, but only got it into the 12-foot.
Yeah, looks to me like the whole 8-foot's open here. Haven't seen much of this game, so really don't know about conditions, but Streifel needs a couple points, and she's got a corner guard coming around that she's playing here.
Nice line by the guard.
Hair deep.
Yeah, it's going to slide just behind the tee line. It is shot rock with a bite of the 4-foot.
You're looking to move it.
3rd stones here. It's Deanna Doig's 2nd stone. She can make the freeze.
I don't think they're playing the freeze, though. I heard them say they're looking at moving it. I was thinking they can maybe see more than what we think. Because I think she's throwing bumper hack here.
Yeah, looks like it. Boy, I think you just watch this stone come down. If you could ever make the freeze, I don't know how Kristen Streifel scores.
I totally agree with you. But that's not what they're playing.
And they just feather tick the guard, and
now
you're in danger of the 2.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, you could play the draw there even if you come up short. how does she score too?
Exactly. Well, she does have a few options here on the other side. She could get to the 4-foot too, but I definitely agree with your call.
Jolene Campbell a little deep on her first draw.
Has a chance to make this one really nice.
Brushes her on this one early.
I think we're calling for line,
maybe
not
more
weight.
For line.
Yeah.
Not going to get by now. Does it leave enough of a port to get at that shot stone? Spun back a little bit. I don't know if there's a port there or not.
Yeah, we're at a tough angle to see, so I'm not sure. By the way that Penny's motioning, there must be a port.
Well, you just look at where the two rocks are.
And the 4-foot line?
In relation to that 4-foot line, it looks like you could probably get a rock through there. I wouldn't want to be betting my own money to get through that port, but it's probably possible.
Given the ice she's taken, looks like she's throwing, I don't know, hit?
It's got to be some kind of hit. It doesn't look like enough ice to be playing any kind of a draw, so maybe a lot of times when it's a narrow port, it is a little easier to negotiate with some weight.
It is, for sure.
Definitely the stone in the rings looks like it would be right in the middle of the port anyway.
Yeah. I was going to say we haven't seen the sheet at all, and we are back on this 4-foot line over here, but I'm not sure if this sheet has those issues.
From the players that I've talked to, everybody saying that the 4-foot lines are a bit of an issue on every sheet, but even at that, we don't know if every one of them is exactly the same. We've certainly seen a little bit of difference between sheets 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Saw the graphic on the screen. We'll remind you as well that the draw tomorrow, the afternoon draw for those watching on CurlSask.ca, is a 12:30 start. The evening draw for all of our viewers, SaskTelMax and CurlSask.ca, is a 6:30 start tomorrow. Penny Barker not able to make it through that port. Rattles off both of them, but leaves her shooter right there. So the shooter definitely usable. Kristen Streifel looking at where to put this first stone. She needs to set up a deuce here if she can. Has to be real careful not to leave a double. Not an easy port to draw through. The stone that Penny Barker just delivered, you can see it there right at the front of the screens, just outside the house. And there's another yellow in the 12-foot. And of course, you got to come across that tight corner guard and still get by the other one. If you rub it,
and that's where
you probably leave a double.
And that's where you know the movement is right at the end, the finish there as well.
You're almost scared to sweep it until it's off the wide guard, the corner guard, and then you've got to work real hard to get by the one in the 12-foot.
Yep.
Like I said, if you get a rub on that, you could very well leave Penny Barker a double, and not only leave the double, but she might leave you with not a lot of room to get in for your single, even for the tie. So here it is, Kristen Streifel with her first stone. Trailing by 1. She does have last rock here in the 10th end. Sitting one right now at the back of the 4-foot.
Sounds like line's good, but nicely through.
And puts it pretty much right where she tapped the ice.
No, very nice.
Penny Barker thinking about coming through the hole. Make the play on the stone at the back 4-foot. Roll to the back of the 4-foot behind cover, which she could do. She'd be shot rock. Again, we can't tell just exactly how much she can see through that port, so that's what makes the difference here. How much weight can you throw? If she could only see half a rock, she'll need to hit about 2/3, so she'll have to rely on a little bit of finish. That amount of ice, I've got to think she's only looking at maybe hack or bumper.
This is exactly the shot she threw in the 8th end to make her triple. So I think she knows the spot. Kind of goes back to how much of that you can see. Pretty tight ice though. So
you don't even have to roll to dead buried. If you got it half around the one that Kristen just threw. How does
How do
she
you get
make
there?
a play on it?
And again, from our angle, I'm assuming she'll be shot when she makes this roll.
Yeah, it looks like she'd still be full forefoot if she rolls buried. She rolls a little bit
She rolls
too
out
far.
the other side. She's not.
She might
yeah.
not be shot. Mind you, even if she's second shot at the back of the 8-foot behind cover, and there is another wide corner guard, how does Kristen Streifel get another one in, considering that she's blocked her path to the 4-foot with her first stone? Penny Barker looking for the hit and roll. Brushes picked this one up about halfway down. Real hard sweep, but they lost the line. It's a nose hit, and Kristen Streifel will have the opportunity to simply play the same shot she just saw.
Yeah, obviously she could see the whole thing.
I
Hit it
guess
right on
so.
the nose. Yeah, so same thing here, nose hit for the win. And did get the chance to watch it.
This is the final game yet to be decided here in draw 7. Once this stone is come to rest, we'll update you on all of the scores. Kristen Streifel with a record of 3-2 coming into this game. An opportunity pick up her 2 points and win right here and stay amongst the leaders. Brushers picked this one up right out of her hand. The call has been hard all the way down. Now I heard a clean. She's by the front one. She makes the hit, stays right there. Kristen Streifel will pick up 2 big points in the victory over Penny Barker. And that's a wrap on draw number 7. Let's quickly recap all of the scores, and we'll try to keep you up to date on the standings as well. With that win, Kristen Streifel moves to 4-2. And Penny Barker, that's her 4th loss. She's now dropped to 2-4. She's going to need some help. Our feature game, Chantel Eberle with a big win, 7-4 over Sherry Just. That drops Sherry Just to 4-3, and Eberle moves to 3-3. The one early game tonight, Robin Silvernagel, a big win over Ashley Howard. That does eliminate Ashley Howard, but Robin Silvernagel moves into a tie for first place at 5-1. And Jessica Mitchell, trying to play spoiler, had a really good game against Sherry Anderson, but in the end the Anderson team pulls that out and they move to 4-2, keep themselves amongst the leaders. We've got 2 more round robin games tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening, and then we'll see where we go for the playoffs on Saturday. We might have some tiebreakers. It's going to get exciting. We'll see you all back here at 12:30 tomorrow, and on Sastel Max, look for the final draw of the round robin at 6:30 tomorrow night.